Welcome to Midwest Paranormal Presents Paranormal Soup. I'm your host, Jason Bland, and we're back after 2 weeks. Yes, I had a work thing that ended up getting canceled, and I could have had a show, but it was too late to really put anything together. But here we are. We are back after 2 weeks. Missed you guys. Hope you missed us. We have an excellent guest tonight for our return. International psychic medium Ericka Boussarhane is her name. It's her first time on the show. She's been on a number of different programs before, interviews, radio interviews, and she has a show on Paraflix Network called Second Sight Paranormal TV that she's on. We're going to get into her background, what she does, but she's also going to do, mini readings for you guys later in the show. Don't call in right away. We'll have her on after the World Wide Web Weird, as usual. But give us some time to talk to her. Probably after our second commercial break, we'll let you call in and get a little mini reading from Ericka and see how it goes. It's only over the phone radio, mediumship. You can only do so much, so we don't want to take the whole night with your reading. But 5-6 minutes. Think about what you want to ask her. She seems like a really wonderful lady. We got to talk to her before show, and had really good energy. So I'm excited to have her on. Of course, we've been gone for 2 weeks, so there's a lot of weird to get to in the World Wide Web of Weird. So let's go ahead and get rolling into the show. Welcome to another night of Paranormal Soup. As I said before, I'm your host, Jason Bland. Our guest tonight, psychic celebrity medium Ericka Boussarhane, will be joining us after the World Wide Web Weird, after our first commercial break. Joining me, as always, every Sunday night is my beautiful co-host, Jamie D. How you doing tonight, Jamie?
Doing well, thank you.
Got the witch's hat on?
I do.
Better watch out. All right. And then Rob Autry from St. Augustine, Florida himself. How you doing tonight, Rob?
Great, glad to be here.
Yeah, glad to have you. Missed you guys. Had to be gone for, it's been 2 weeks, but, sometimes things happen, and I have hopefully, I won't say it because I want to jinx it, but we're supposed to go to Florida next month, the family. You remember we were supposed to take a vacation like 2 years ago. Then coronavirus happened. We never got to go to Florida. So just be prepared. It'll be another period of time where we'll actually be gone for 2 shows, for 2 weeks, really gone for 2 weeks. We'll be back like in 3 weeks in March because we're going to actually take a family vacation to Florida. Hopefully, I get to see Rob in St. Augustine. We're hoping I get to travel down there. I've been down to St. Augustine, I think, once, passed through, and I've never really got to see it. So Rob can give me the grand tour, hopefully. But we got a lot of weird... What did you say, Rob?
It's 3 hours and 20 minutes.
3 hours and 20 minutes. Yes, I got to talk the family into that. But they're actually talking about it because my wife wants to go. So we got a lot of weird to get to. So let's go ahead and roll into the World Wide Web of Weird. Tonight on the World Wide Web Weird, I think we had this on the last World Wide Web of Weird 2 weeks ago when we were on. Is the Pennsylvania mystery creature. Remember that? They couldn't figure out what it was. Animal Rescue didn't know what it was. Escaped. It escaped. I saw this. I'm like, dang, I really wish we had a show to talk about this. But I saved it. There's the first article tonight. Yes, Pennsylvania mysterious creature. They don't know what it was. Escaped. For those listening on the Paranormal Radio Network, we are a webcast. We stream live out to YouTube, Facebook, Twitch as well, where if you want to watch, you can come watch. If you want to listen, I'll narrate horribly as usual. All right, let me get this up on the screen. So yeah, this is a picture that I believe this was last show we had. We talked about this. Of course, I got this from Coast to Coast AM from Tim Binnell. The tale of a mysterious creature that stumped experts in Pennsylvania has taken an unexpected turn as the odd animal somehow managed to stage a daring escape from the rescue center where it was being housed. The inanimate critter made headlines earlier this week when it was learned that a woman had rescued the oddity, which appeared to be some kind of canine, and wildlife experts were stumped as to whether it was a dog or a coyote. Intending to have the creature genetically tested, one hopes that samples had already been obtained, as the animals now nowhere to be found. According to an update from the organization's Wildlife Works, which was tending to the mystery creature, a staff member arrived at the building on Thursday morning and was met with horrifying sight of a destroyed empty cage in a trashed hospital area. The group went on to explain that the animal was apparently bound and determined to flee the scene as it chewed through a window seal in order to open it and then ripped through the screen and made off into the dark at night. Not in our wildest dreams did we expect something like this, Wildlife Works laminated, describing themselves as devastated over the animal's escape. The brazen getaway is particularly puzzling to the organization, they said, since they had been caring for the creature over the last week, and it never acted aggressive or distressed, nor showed any indication that it wished to escape. Although they theorized that he was starting to feel somewhat better and decided it was time to go, staff from the rescue group are nonetheless searching for the animal in the event that it needs additional care or was injured during the incident on Wednesday evening. Considering the strange nature of the creature and its jaw-dropping escape, one can't help but wonder if it was neither a dog nor a coyote, but rather the infamous chupacabra instead. Jamie was talking, you mentioned like shapeshifter, or something, like, oop, I got caught, I need to get out of here. I don't know what it is. The whole thing's really weird to me. The fact that the wildlife people couldn't really right off the bat determine what it was, they needed genetic testing, was odd. And the fact that, they house animals all the time, they don't escape, even aggressive ones, they can't get out, but this one did. The whole thing's really unusual.
Yeah.
And I hope there's more to it, but if it's gone, it's gone. That's the last we know. But it's so fascinating. I hope, they don't mention, did they get genetic material? I would hope they had kept something right away. They got something before it escaped. It had been there for a little bit, at least, I hope.
Yeah. Shit.
All right. Well, this I found interesting. We've had record, amounts of snow lately here, but I guess there was this huge lightning strike that stretched 477 miles. Now, some of this I know you guys might have already seen. I'm a little behind on the weird because we're gone. But world record 477 mile long lightning mega flash confirmed over the U.S. The World Meteorological Organization also certified a flash over South America that lasted a record 17 seconds. The World Meteorological Organization announced on Monday that it had confirmed two new mind-blowing lightning mega flash records. The findings, which come after careful data checking and rigorous certification process, include one record event that occurred over the lower 48 states. On April 29, 2020, a sprawling mass of strong to severe thunderstorms produced a 477.2-mile-long lightning strike over the southern United States. It stretched from near Houston to southeast Mississippi at a distance equivalent to that between Columbus, Ohio, and New York City. And I saw this, and we had oh, now my brain slips on the name of the guest we just had on 2 weeks. 2 weeks, my brain forgets. We're talking about scalar energy and Tesla and the energy that's just like waiting for us, you know. And here, look how much. I wonder how much voltage was in that. You know, how much power, natural power, with 477 miles long. And they have a picture of it here. If you go to the Washington Post, where I got this article from, they have actually radar image of this thing. I mean, yeah, I mean, it's massive.
Yeah, that's definitely not your normal lightning strikeage.
No. I think there's just so much we don't understand about storms. And, you know, I've always been fascinated by the one case of the guy flying in the Bermuda Triangle area that, like, flew through a space tunnel, or, you know, a warp tunnel, basically, in his plane. You know, like, something going on there, producing massive energy, you know. I've heard that, you know, even physics really can't explain the voltage, or how lightning is able to jump from ground to sky or whatever. I'm not an expert, but it's fascinating, weird.
Yeah,
I know.
It makes you wonder what's going on. You know, if man has something to do with it, or if it's just some crazy.
Yeah, I mean, is that a normal thing for it to be that big? Does that happen all the time? All right. Now we got some UFO footage. You wonder what would happen if a UFO flew through something like that. I mean, anything in the sky you think would be wrecked. But we got a truck driver in New Jersey. Now, of course, I'm going to have a lot of people, myself included, think that this is maybe not a UFO. I don't know. Truck driver in New Jersey, and this is from Hidden Underbelly. I got two from Hidden Underbelly. That's like one of my favorite YouTube channels. I watch weekly. That has really good UFO stuff, even ghost stuff. He has all kinds of stuff. His UFO stuff, though, is really incredible. And this one, the truck driver spotted, and this one's not as credible as the next one, but a truck driver in New Jersey spotted a puzzling orb in the morning sky that left him baffled. And this is again from Coast to Coast, Tim Binnell. He stopped alongside of the highway to film the curious scene. The remarkable sighting reportedly occurred this week in Tavis Riviera. Occurred last week as Tavis Riviera, that I guess that was traveling. That's his name, Tavis. I've never heard that. Was traveling I-78 through the community of Watchung. The normally routine trip took a strange turn when the witness says when he noticed a strange pulsating, extremely bright light, Riviera was so intrigued by the peculiar aerial anomaly that he basically pulled over as soon as he could safely record it. And go ahead and play it. You can tell this isn't bogus. I mean, he's excited.
What I'm recording. I pulled over on the side of the highway. You can see me on the side of the highway right now. It's just about done. This is not an airplane. I don't know what it is exactly. I'm zooming in on it right now.
And this is a longer video. We're only showing a little bit of it. Hidden Underbelly 2.0 is the YouTube channel where he has this. You can watch more of it, and he does zoom-ins and stuff I don't have as great on here. He goes, "It's not Venus." This is what the truck driver says. And I don't know. What's your guys' opinion? Could that be Venus? Because that's what skeptics say.
I don't know what the hell this thing is.
I think it's too bright to actually... I mean, Venus is the bright star, but would it show up on a camera like that?
Yeah, it could.
Jamie, I
but,
thought you would have a good opinion on this because you do a lot of, I see you shooting a lot of video at night on your phone.
I
That's
would
what
have
he's using.
to know what. I'd have to know what direction that was, but it could
Right,
be
that's
Venus.
my thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I have seen it pretty darn bright,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's pretty big.
Yeah.
So.
That's what I thought. I thought it was just a little bit too big. I mean, of course, the zoom in makes it look it that way. This is a total zoom back, so maybe it is, but it's just a zoom in.
Depending when it was filmed, we did
Right.
have a couple weeks where Venus was very big and bright in the sky. But
recently.
that seems a little bit too big.
But it looks big because he zoomed in. I think about it. If you watch his full zoom back, then I'm like, oh, okay, it might be. All right, we'll move on to the next one. I like his enthusiasm. Go check it out, Hidden Underbelly 2.0. This other one's from Hidden Underbelly 2.0, and he has a way better zoom in of this. And my video is not going to do it any justice, so go check it out there. But this is a black triangle one, and I think this was Pakistan. Yeah, it was Pakistan. Again, Tim Binnell has the article here. Eerie black triangle seen hovering in the sky over Pakistan for hours. This guy literally filmed this thing, and it's a long video. We're only going to show little pieces of it. Hidden Underbelly 2.0, and he analyzes it and zooms in. But it's triangle. When you usually get the actual zoom in, my zoom is not good enough. When you get the zoom in of it, it's totally a triangle. And this guy in Pakistan just noticed it after flying his drone. He notices this thing flying up there. An intriguing piece of footage from Pakistan shows what appears to be a black triangle object hovering in the sky. The witness says that it remained in place for hours. The puzzling sighting reportedly occurred on Tuesday evening in the city is Islamabad, shortly after Arslan Warwick had landed a drone that he had been operating moments earlier. Looking up at the sky, he was astounded to see the curious object and began filming it with his cell phone. And in the video, the guy goes, "I fly drones. I know that's not a drone, because there's no drone that's going to be up there for hours like that, just hovering." And he says, and it moves a little. But go ahead and play it.
9x. This is what iPhones.
I love this guy and all of his footage. This, what was his name? Warwick. What's his last name? Yeah, like I said, our video is not going to do it justice. It looks like a little tiny black dot. Go ahead and fast forward a little bit in the video to the end, where I do my zoom in. It's, like I said, Hidden Underbelly does a way better zoom in of it than I do later in the video. Or actually right at the beginning, I just didn't get that part. Like I said, go check out Hidden Underbelly 2.0 for this one, but this is crazy that this was up there. This is a little better. I know it's probably still hard for you to see. Like I said, check it out at Hidden Underbelly. But this thing, you know, hovering up there for 2 hours, no way it's a drone. What it is, I don't know. You wonder if the Pakistani government would be interested in knowing. They weren't sending jets up or anything, but obviously it doesn't show up. Like I said, I've been my shout out to Captain out there, Captain Damage on my Star Wars squadron. But we've been talking to a pilot who actually encountered a black triangle UFO during the Belgian wave, and it didn't show up on any radar. Didn't show up on. He couldn't get a missile lock on it. So this is flying up there, staying up there for a couple hours. And nobody in air traffic control in Pakistan knows it's there.
Yeah, it's definitely something.
I mean, is that alien or is that us? I mean, is that another military? Like, hey, they could just totally park one of these things up in the sky, totally check out Pakistan, and not have anybody mess with them because it doesn't show up, and only visual seen by people seeing it. And it's so far up there, he just barely noticed it.
We've got a couple spy satellites that were just launched up recently.
Yeah, but that wouldn't be that.
No, not that.
But yeah, I mean, if they're putting satellites up there, who knows what else they're putting up there, you know?
Well, spy planes, would go and fly over and do all that, and then satellites kind of killed the need for spy planes. But now, if you could have a UFO that can, your own personal UFO that's undetectable, completely stealth. I mean, maybe it has an invisibility cloak that wasn't working at the moment or something for an hour or two. You could totally get a close-up look.
Remember that one electric power, they don't know how it was powered, spy plane that went around the Earth for like so many years?
What was that called? Dang it, I can't think of it. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that finally kaput.
I don't think I have that article, but I had one article I didn't put in here that they're talking about when were they talking about doing the next couple of years taking the International Space Station down? Mm-hmm. They're gonna
it's falling apart.
Yeah, and you have Russia accusing us of sabotaging it, us accusing them, and international relations are just maybe not the greatest to have an International Space Station now. So yeah, they're like, we're gonna probably trash that.
But China wants 1 mile long space station.
I like how you said there. Long. What? 1 mile long?
1 mile long.
It's gonna be bigger than America. It's bigger than America. We don't have nothing. After that, we won't put anything up. No. Not by NASA. No. All right, let's move on before we run out of time. All right. Next couple of articles is about how society is just generally falling apart. There's another one Tim Bindle provided from Coast to Coast. Ghost of legendary NASCAR driver blamed for wrong way car crash. Now, there's a longer article that Tim Bindle pulled this from, and I read that one just to get a bigger sense of the case, but it's too long to read. But if you find the article on Coast to Coast AM, go to the reportedly part and read the full article for this guy's complete story. It's crazy. Man facing a litany of charges of allegedly driving the wrong way on Las Vegas freeway offered a truly bizarre explanation for the motor vehicle misadventures when he told a judge that the ghost of NASCAR legend Dale Earnhardt Sr. told him to do it. You know, wait. I have the right thing for this, and I always forget where I put it, and I don't remember now. Oh, right here. That's it. That's it. It occurred on Friday afternoon when police say Daniel Assef entered the southbound lane of Highway I-215 and began heading in the opposite direction of traffic. The incredibly dangerous drive caused multiple car crashes, though fortunately no one was hurt in the chaos, and Assef was subsequently arrested. Appearing in court on Tuesday, the accused wrong way driver stunned observers when he said that he had been instructed to make the prayerless trip by the spirit of Dale Earnhardt Sr., and reverently referred to the late NASCAR legend by his nickname, the Intimidator. The ghost purported reason for the strange request for the motorist's claim was to convince the mayor of Las Vegas to bring the popular motorsport back to the city. Facing numerous charges of the ill-advised escapade, it remains to be seen whether or not Assef sticks to that story should he ultimately go on trial, especially since it's highly unlikely he'll be able to get the ghost of Dale Earnhardt Sr. to take the stand in his defense. Ha ha. Bum. All right, we got to move on. But, you know, drugs are bad, okay?
No, Dale's not going to go against traffic. You go with it and you turn left.
Right, give Dale some respect, man. He can zoom in and out of that traffic. He doesn't need to go against the traffic. Don't talk about the Intimidator like that. I'm not a NASCAR person. I would have no idea what his nickname was.
It was the Intimidator.
It's just cars going around in circles. I'm sorry. Somebody's like, unsubscribe! No, okay. All right. Next one is a Weekend at Bernie's story. I love these.
Yeah.
Frosters take corpse into a post office to claim dead man's pension. When two men walked into Hosey's post office in Carlow, Ireland, on Friday morning, supporting an unconscious elderly gentleman, staff members immediately thought something was up. The Frosters, who put a jumper over the old man and a hat on his head, had lugged him up to the counter and requested to withdraw money from his pension. When staff members asked about the well-being of the man, they were told that he was having a heart attack and that he would be taken to the hospital after withdrawing the cash. Unconvinced, a member of the staff picked up the phone and called emergency services, prompting the two men to drop the man on the floor and flee the premises. When the ambulance crew arrived, they discovered the man was dead. It later came to light that one of the men had previously attempted to extract money from the old man's pension earlier on the same day, but was unable to do so without him being present. Police are now attempting to track down the suspect, while investigators are also working to determine exactly how long the elderly man had been dead. The deceased was identified as Peter Doyle, a man in his 70s who lived nearby. I was absolutely shocked to hear what had happened, said Ken Moraine, mayor of Carlow. I cannot believe anyone would do something like this. It's beggar's belief. I'm just shocked. I can't believe anybody would do this. Come watch Worldwide Web Weird. This is not the first story I've had of people doing a Weekend at Bernie's. Not at all. And it won't be the last. It will not be the last. It's a very popular thing to live off of dead people's pensions. It's commitment.
That's next level. That's next level.
It's next level when you have to bring the body in, but they're not the first. They are not the first. All right, let's move on to this last one. Just to talk about society collapsing. Computer model predicts the collapse of society by 2040. A prediction from the 1970s has since been corroborated by several independent researchers. Predicting the future is not an easy thing to do. This is from Unexplained Mysteries. But careful analysis was happening in the past. It's possible to at least take on an educated guess of what might happen in the years to come. Back in the 1970s, scientists at the MIT combined data from multiple sources concerning population, resource usage, and economic factors to calculate the most likely time the modern civilization would experience a full societal collapse. The futuristic at the time date that they came up with was the year 2040. While it might seem easy to dismiss their findings out of hand, another study was conducted in 2009 by a completely different team of researchers to determine whether or not the original estimate was still accurate. Worryingly, they concluded that the original findings were almost exactly on course some 35 years later. It's important to recognize that the predictions have not been invalidated and in fact seem to quite on target. We are not aware of any model made by economists that is accurate over a long time span. The results would later be corroborated a third time just last year by Dutch sustainability researcher Gaia Harrington, who found that the economic growth and could come to halt by the end of the decade. Not at all lost, however. The key finding of the study is that we all have a choice to align with a scenario that does not end in a collapse, she told. Not when we're just spending out the wazoo and money's, the dollar's becoming worthless. I don't think it takes a computer model to predict, and I have 3 of them, that we're coming close to a societal collapse. Saying it's going to be, I grew up in the doomsday generation watching, Mad Max and all these end of the world scenario stuff. And, so it's just kind of acceptable to me that, society's going to collapse. That's my retirement plan. Just watch the world burn. That's why I didn't want to have children. I love my children. I can't imagine my life without them, but I went a long time in my life, me and my wife both, saying we don't want children because we just felt like, society's going to collapse. We can see the signs. And this was a long time ago. Now it's even crazier.
That's why I didn't have kids. That is exactly why I didn't have kids.
Yes, if I didn't have kids, I could just sit back and watch it burn. And, well, I thought I could just sit back, watch the world burn, open up a 6-pack, smoke a joint, watch it burn. Who cares? Let it go. But you have kids, you got to care. Now I got to care. Thanks a lot, people.
Right.
But that's it from the World Wide Web Weird.
Jamie and me were just talking about something like this. What, last night? Night before last? It's the end of the world.
As we know it, or just totally. I don't know. But just to leave you on a nice depressing note. But, we have a wonderful guest with wonderful energy tonight. Her name is Ericka Boussarhane. She is a psychic medium. She will later in the show take your calls, do a little bit of a mini reading. So hang in there. But we're going to go to our first commercial break. If I can remember where all my buttons are. Yes, that button right there. We will be right back after the short commercial break.
Join us every Wednesday night at midnight Eastern Standard Time for Weird Wednesday, the live stream, with your hosts Jamie, the Living Dead Girl, and Rob, the Phantom, where we'll talk about all things paranormal, including zodiac, astrology, tarot card and oracle card readings, live ghost boxing and spirit communication, where we'll do Voices from Beyond, the Cold Case Files. So we hope you join us live on Facebook and YouTube every Wednesday night at midnight Eastern Standard Time. We hope to see you there. Bye-bye.
Since 1948, Fate magazine has brought you reports of the strange and unknown, all of them true. Fate Radio is carrying on that tradition, bringing you the unusual, macabre, strange, and bizarre. Join host Kat Hobson Sunday nights from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern on WBHM Digital Broadcasting.
Of the second kind, physical evidence of a UFO. Close encounters of the third kind, Contact. From Steven Spielberg, the director of Jaws, comes one of the most ambitious and unusual films ever made. And what you will see has never been seen before. It's a cosmic mystery crossing what many scientists believe will be the next threshold of human experience. It is called Close Encounters of the Third Kind. It begins in an Indiana town and leads to one inescapable conclusion. We are not alone. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Certificate A. Now showing at the Odeon, Leicester Square.
The international chart-topping Haunted Horror of Haverfordwest has been described as terrifyingly real, a must-read, shocking and chilling brilliance, genuinely worrying, utterly frightening. Don't read before bed. Described as one of the spookiest writers out there, best-selling author G.L. Davies presents Haunted Horror of Haverfordwest, the true paranormal account that is shocking the world. Dare you enter? Dare you read? Haunted Horror of Haverfordwest is available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Kindle, and wherever books are sold. Pray you never have to live there.
This is the sound of a space clock aboard a U.S. satellite 180 miles above the Earth. No one winds up this timepiece. It's powered by a tiny battery, a battery that delivers power for years without replacement. Now the same type of battery, the Duracell battery, can bring new reliability and long life to your battery-operated equipment. Radios, cameras, toys, all run far longer. Duracell batteries, the long-distance power cells, outlast any ordinary battery. The same type of battery that keeps space clocks running for years can bring long life to anything powered by batteries. Dura, as in durable. Cell, as in power cell. The Duracell battery, made by Mallory.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from Talkstream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now, the Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
Switch to DCS ranging.
240, nominal to profile.
We're in the pipe, 5 by 5.
Tonight on Paranormal Soup, our guest is international celebrity psychic media Ericka Boussarhane. Ericka is highly respected psychic known for her amazing ability to communicate with loved ones from the other side. Ericka has helped countless people with issues in relationships, career, family, health, finances, and more. She used her mediumship, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairresistance, clairscent, clairagency, clairgustance, all the clairs, to help others find closure and insight into their lives. As a psychic medium, she's able to connect with loved ones who have crossed over to the other side. Ericka is a generational psychic that uses no divination tools for her readings. Ericka has been featured on TV, interviewed by national radio stations across the country. This is her first time on Paranormal Soup. I am honored to have her on, so let's go ahead and get to our guest. We got her in the room. Let me add her to stream. Are you there, Ericka? Uh-oh. I don't like the camera symbol there. Oh, but hopefully she's there. You there, Ericka?
Hold on. Shit.
Oh, okay. We hear you at least. That's a
I'm
good
gonna,
thing.
I'm gonna come back out and come back in and see what's
Okay. Check your camera settings.
Okay.
I hate that when that happens. We had her on for the sound check. She was perfectly fine. Camera looked great. Sound great. And then technical difficulties. So hang in there with us. We're going to get our guest on here by hook or by crook. Hopefully, waiting for her to pop back in here. Hopefully with a video camera. Jamie and Rob, hopefully you're there too. I hope. All by myself. I got you guys here in the chat room. How's everybody doing tonight? Hang in there while we have technical difficulties. Hopefully we get our guest back here in a second. There's Rob. Hopefully. She might be restarting her computer. Who knows? Usually once they come on for the sound check, there she is. And with video. How you doing tonight, Ericka?
Hello, how are y'all doing?
Here, happy that you're here.
Oh, yes, me too. I was freaking out because we did a test, and you know how the paranormal is.
Yeah, Murphy's Law.
Ghost did it.
Yeah, we can always blame it on a ghost in this field. It ain't my fault, the ghost did it. Well, thank you, Ericka, for coming on the show tonight. It's your first time on. You know, it's an honor to have you on, and I want to get the audience and myself, you know, to know more about you. How, you know, first off, you know, I know it's the question probably you always get asked at the beginning of a show, but generational psychic. It means you probably have had this since you were a kid, but you know, tell us a little bit how your life started with, you know, your abilities.
Well, so my mom is psychic. She was born in Massachusetts. She grew up in a house that probably was haunted, or land that was haunted. There are stories.
Really?
Yeah, there are stories of like my mom and her siblings and my grandmother seeing a ghost of a small child that they believed was Native American. So growing up in, you know, my mom had many experiences. Her siblings did. So I think it's actually generational. I think it's something in our DNA. It's something the way that our brains are wired that it is generational in a sense.
You know, there's one thing I wonder though. When I just brought my interest up on it when you said that you said your mom grew up in a haunted house.
Yes.
Yeah.
They were on base, but they had interactions with spirits, and then moved to Pensacola, and their house was definitely haunted.
Well, see, I swear sometimes. I mean, I do think it's generational. I do think it's in the genetics, but sometimes I wonder if family lines and people are affected by locations that it opens you up. And hence the following generations too, you know, or at least for some, the haunted locations open up sometimes psychic abilities for people. It changes them.
I would agree because I mean I've had brushes all throughout my life, but when I actually moved in a haunted house when I got married, next to power lines, that's when the floodgates
You
really
said next
started.
to power lines.
Yes.
That's interesting. I've been a paranormal investigator, and I had this one investigation, and a deceased friend who was a psychic medium, Rick Bunch, got called this one, and I felt bad. Where I had two investigators say, "Oh, it's really haunted." They did the whole walkthrough and everything, and I didn't get to go, and I wish I had. We get there. As soon as I get there, before the psychic shows up, I'm like, "Do you hear the buzzing? Like, you feel that?" Literally, they had that house so badly wired, and the electric on the pole so bad you could hear the what you call it, I'm not a power guy, right? What did he say? Transformer, thank you. You could hear it buzzing inside the house. The EMF was off the charts. And my second friend doesn't even enter the house. He comes up to the front, Rick. This was Rick Bunch. Hope his soul rest in peace, Rick. I love you. It was like, why the hell did you bring me here? He's like, this isn't paranormal. But I've always wondered, you know, they did have some weird stuff that would happen. I'd listen to clients and I'd say, well, I don't see that EMF causing you to have that happen. But I've always wondered, you know, is it like a moth to a flame kind of thing? Does that kind of EMF energy attract those spirits to it? Like, you know, like moths to a bug zapper?
I don't think anybody else living in that house had a problem. So I think that once I got in the house, but I was told that the lady who lived in the house before me had glued the windows shut, and I never could get in touch with the people that sold the house to me. They never would respond. But when we sold the house, this is a little known fact. My realtor had someone go in and do a house inspection, and they found a box of dolls in the attic, and he would not move them, and he would not take a photo of them, and we didn't go back to go see what they were. So to this day, I think that there was something in that attic that might have been put by the lady who.
Yeah. So you guys never checked out the attic before, obviously.
No, my perception is she lost the house and she did some type of ritual. And I walked right into it. So it was a perfect storm. Yeah.
Dolls in the Attic, great Aerosmith album title. Not a great thing to actually have in your attic.
Yeah. Thank you, Jack Laura, realtor in Pensacola. Thank you for selling me a haunted house.
She's like, hey, thanks for the plug. You know, they talk about, I don't know what Florida's laws are about disclosing haunted houses, and, you know, some states have laws on that, but you know, you moved into it. You know, there's also the other aspect is the whole like Stephen King kind of shining aspect that certain people are like the keys that walk into a house and then they unlock all the activity that the spirits feed off of their energy. Do you think you do that at all? That you go into a location with your abilities and that gives the spirits a little bit more power to be more active?
Yes, I think that, like I said, with me moving in that house, probably anybody else could live there and just be fine.
Right.
But because of the pre-existing conditions of my psychic ability,
right,
I did unlock some doors, and I do that in locations as well. When I go into, like we just did the Oakley Historic Museum in Mobile, Alabama last night, and probably a normal person, because the curator, she's like, well, I'm psychically dead. But as soon as, you know, I walked in, I'm like, okay, there's a servant, there's a this, there's a that. So me being there, yes, for sure, we open up as psychics, and so we can read the energy of the location and interact, hopefully, with the
I've witnessed it. My friend, another medium friend of mine, Katrina Cooper, I've done investigations with, and I've been in a location several times that have got no activity. Katrina comes in and stuff's moving and we're getting voices. It's like, but she's not there, not so much.
Yeah, we bring the ghost, I guess.
Well, that's what I always found interesting. You know, one of my favorite novels by Stephen King is The Shining. I read that when I was a teenager, and you know, I've probably reread it several times. But I thought he was onto something with the idea of this little boy Danny Torrance being like this battery to the haunted. Like it was haunted, but you throw this little shining Danny Torrance in there, and you're like, "Look, come play with us, Danny," and all this activity happens. And that I think it does work that way in some sense. It's psychics or people with your ability are little batteries to these things. They can use your energy to manifest more.
Yeah, I think we kind of describe ourselves as being a light source.
Yeah.
And so they're drawn to the light source when they see us. Cool.
Oh, I can't see now. It's like, come follow us, Danny. Come play with us.
Yeah, that's an autographed picture of the two little girls.
That is awesome, Rob. Jeez. Oh my God. Yeah, that is awesome. I didn't even know he had that. See, I learned something new every night about Rob. But sorry, Rob got me all in my Shining fandom of one of my favorite novels. Anyways, that probably tells you everything you need to know about me.
Yeah, I love that scene when they're walking down the hall, and yeah, it's cool.
Now, for you as a kid growing up, you know, the reason I do this show, I mean, I like to talk about myself. Everybody knows my stories. I've had a lot of experiences since my earliest memories, and you know, I've had a lot of people tell me, "Oh, you have abilities," and that. I don't. I mean, I do, but I don't I'm not saying I'm a psychic. I don't go out and do psychic things. It just randomly things happen to me. I've had a lot of experiences as a child. I'm always fascinated for somebody who has developed your abilities. You're having this experience of how it was as a child, though, seeing other things other people didn't. You know, like around even your parents, even if your mom was psychic, kids are like 100 times more seeing stuff than they are.
Yeah, so, you know, growing up in my household, my mom kind of practiced different things, and then she kind of walked away from it, but I always intuitively saw auras around people, auras around children, felt things, you know. like I would like people or not like adults, you know, and there was nothing that I would know about them. And I remember one time saying, I got in trouble for this, but I was probably about 10, and we had gone to Georgia to meet my aunt's allegedly fiance, and out of the mouth of babes, which they still don't know
Right.
where it came from, I said, he's cheating on you.
Oh.
And he was. I was right. And the marriage didn't happen. So
Fuck,
yeah, I
was
don't
it?
even know where that came from. I call it like temporary possession from somebody. I was like, blah, blah, blah.
That's like
And I
Bill
got in
Cosby's
trouble
"Can't
for
say the
saying-
darndest things."
I got in serious trouble for it. But I was
Oh
right.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I remember, you know, there's stuff I would say to my mom as a kid that probably freaked her out and all that. But was your mom then just open to that? She knew you had the ability.
I got in trouble about that. I don't think my mom really knew because I kind of hid it.
Yeah.
You know, she would play like, you know, we grew up. My mom was kind of different. You know, she was an artist. She was kind of a hippie. So we played. She played with the Ouija board. She communicated with spirits. I was always afraid of it, you know, because
Yeah.
I watched The Exorcist, and I
Right.
thought,
That's all you need.
yeah, that was like, I'm done, you know?
Yep.
And so it was kind of interesting, you know, we didn't really talk a lot about me and my experiences because I kind of kept them away because I didn't know it was different. I didn't know
Yeah.
that I was different from a lot of people until I got older and I started to watch like cold cases and crime scenes and, you know, thought I was losing my brain or, you know, needed to be locked up because I was seeing things and hearing things that were not normal. For other
Jamie, I
people.
know you can relate to that a little bit too, because we both get into like the cold case stuff, unsolved mysteries, and I get like feelings about stuff. I'm like, oh, it's just your imagination, because I have a wild imagination. I don't know, but I've had some stuff I've just thought of while watching something and find out it's true, and I'm like, oh, okay, you know. So you were having that, like watching these shows, you were getting kind of like impressions from it.
Yeah, when I was in college, I would my boyfriend at the time was going to school for criminal justice, and we would watch crime, you know, shows.
Yeah.
Shows. And when I'd watch unsolved mysteries, I'd be looking at the TV, and I'd lay down, and I'd almost go into a meditative trance, and then I could kind of see the victim, the perpetrator, the body, and then I would get really scared because I didn't know if I was making it up in my head or
Right.
it was just a scary thing. And then you start projecting it on, is this something that's going to happen to me? So, you know, it feels
You're picking up on like the anxiety of the whole ordeal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it feels
a lot
so
of bad
intense,
mojo.
like you're there literally, or it's happening to you, or you're doing it, and then you're kind of traumatized by the whole experience, and it happened over and over again with different shows. So I kind of
Yeah.
thought maybe there's
Stop
something
watching them.
to it. No,
Yeah.
I am like a Law and Order SUV. I'm like I love all that stuff.
Yeah, but the real ones, like the unsolved mysteries, you're picking up on vibes from it. It's like, okay, I don't need that kind of real anxiety. Like fictional stuff, fine, but you know, I had I survived. I don't know if I'm getting psychic impressions or not, but like I had a real bad experience with a mom describing how this grizzly bear killed her 2 children, and almost killed her, and she got. I've never watched it again. Like I like the amount of fear I got out of that episode and anxiety and just badness. I was like, never watch again. You know, there's other things like that. It's like people think it's just a thing you're watching, but everything's energy. Everything carries energy, and even you watching a show, you're picking up on that and getting information. So what was the turning point for you to actually take that into practice, like to actually get involved in like either a case or do a reading for somebody?
Well, so we moved in that haunted house next to the power lines, and I had a daycare center at the time. So I started having dreams, nightmares of a lot of different women. I didn't know who they were really, honestly. I would just have dreams, repetitive dreams about women. Sometimes I was trying to kill them, and sometimes I was trying to protect myself from the killer. And a lot of times I was out of body, going different places, and I didn't know where I was. And so I started getting traumatized by it, and I started doing research to see if the names that I were getting, or if I could pull up faces. I started looking at the Doe Network, and I started looking at our local cold cases. And there was one girl that I remember, her name was Melissa Eck. I dreamed about her over and over and over again. So I left my daycare center and I got in my car and I started to drive, and I was like, Melissa, if I'm not losing my mind, because I literally thought I was losing my mind.
Right.
take me where you were. And so I started driving and I heard left, go right, go left. And like I ended up on Blakely Avenue in Pensacola, Florida. Blakely Avenue was the last place that she was seen. And then I freaked out. Well, I had to do some research. I freaked out. I went back home to the daycare center, actually, and I grabbed a teacher by the name of Michelle, and I was like, Michelle, I want you to come with me. And because I was hearing where she was, where her body was.
Yeah.
And so we went into the woods off of Fairfield. And I mean, I lost it. I mean, lost it. She lost it. And she didn't even understand why I brought her there. But she got out of the car and her heart was racing.
So she was feeling like the energy?
Something too, yes. I went to the sheriff department's website and I typed all this stuff in and said, hey, have y'all checked this location? Never got a response. So I went down there and I talked with Mark Schmeester at the time. And I was like, look, you know, this is what I'm getting. And started telling him about certain cases, and he was interested because I was telling him stuff that, you know, I guess he didn't, that I wouldn't have known. And they started passing out cards, and that's how that began. And I wanted to just do it all over. So I started I created a cold case forum on my website, and people would submit names to me, and I would start doing readings for them.
Did they find the body there?
To my knowledge, I kind of, to be honest, I didn't want to do anything locally at that time because I had small children. I never followed through with it. I tried to reach out to her family. I never got a response from them. And over time, I was trying to reach her brother because that's who she was wanting me to talk to. I just gave up on that, but I did work across the internet in different states, and that's kind of where I kind of focused on after that.
I'm still bothered by a very visual dream I had many years ago of a spot I won't say out in my town where there's a building. I know where it's at. I know where. I've dreamt of this girl showing me where she was buried and killed, and I don't know what to do about it. And I've had that dream many years ago, and I've just kept hoping maybe somebody would, if there is a body there, they'll find them. Like, but how do you even approach a police officer or a cop with this information? You know, that's a hard thing to do. And I have had psychic mediums that have been on the show that work with law enforcement. There are law enforcement are willing and open to do it, but I worked in law enforcement for a short period of time, and I know plenty of a-holes that'll just laugh at you.
Yeah.
If you try to give it to them, you know.
Do you know if that particular female, was there a well or some kind of circular location that she was trying to draw you to?
Actually, what I saw was this house. It was kind of already a pre-hole that she was dumped into and buried with, like, I see, like, what I saw was, like, them putting, like, garbage on top of her.
Yeah. I saw, a building here.
I can't see. It's whiting it out, darn it.
Okay. Yeah, I saw, like, the building, a hole where she was pointing. There's a tree right there, and there are two other.
Yes. Oh, wow. There is. It's right by a tree, and there's a building there, and it's off of. I know where it is.
Can you see it now?
Yeah, I do.
And there's the building. There's like 3 buildings the way that I saw it. Like, I do that.
They're houses, but they're very junked. This one house is the very junk house, and the other houses are, and it's like off of but they got a lot of junk there. At least they used to. I haven't been by there in a long time, but it's always bothered me. Like, who do you tell? Who do you say? Is that real? I don't know. Did I just have a weird dream? I don't know.
You didn't have a weird dream, and sometimes that is the hardest thing, and that's why I walked away from it, 10 plus years ago, because you don't know what to do with it. Sometimes you can't save and you can't find everyone, and so you feel so. Probably in your situation, you feel like you're powerless in some sense.
Yeah.
So what I know is that if she came to you, she just came to me, she'll come to someone else and she will get her message heard. It just takes time, unfortunately. It takes a good detective to go back in there and relook at that evidence and then do the legwork again.
She needs to find somebody who's actually psychic medium, because I'm not. Like, I've had a lot of. I know everybody I believe has an ability. My religious view is pretty much Jediism. The Force. But some people are Jedis, and some people are just have natural little bit abilities. I'm saying that it all depends. Some people are great singers, and some people are poor singers. I think I have a little more psychic ability than some people, but I'm not a psychic. You know, that's what I'm saying. I have uncontrollable instances of this stuff.
Yeah. I would say you're psychic, for sure, and maybe your fear is that you don't want to be labeled that you're psychic, but you are definitely psychic.
Yeah, I don't, because it has a lot of connotations to it. It's expectations people put on you when you say you're psychic. I always reference this. I'm a big movie geek. I went to film school. Is Poltergeist. I love Poltergeist. I love Steven Spielberg, and I always love the scene where the little psychic lady's upstairs and the dad, I can't think of the actor's name. She's like asking him a question. He's just sitting, he's standing there with his eyes closed. She goes, "Well," he's like, "Well, I think she's psychic. She'd hear my thoughts," and she answers him back. But it's like people have these horrible expectations of psychics, and from Hollywood, and what they see is not reality.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I've heard, "Well, you can read my mind, can't you?"
Right.
You know what I'm thinking.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. You do also psychic development as well. Teach classes.
Yes. So someone like you who's kind of psychic, and we all are psychic, literally, but someone who wants to fine tune their ability or see if they're mediums and fine tune their mediumship, they can go to my coldcasepsychics.com website, and I do offer psychic development, of course, a video course. I do online Zoom classes, and there are lots of meditations and things that on my website. There's a psychic development, a chakra development, a mediumship, and a relationship rehab, because everybody needs to find healthy love.
I think what is the big majority, if you do readings for people like about relationships, like
that is like a misconception, because I get a lot of people think, "Oh my God, yeah, psychics, they just deal with relationship." But for me, a lot of mine are mediumship and dead people, literally.
Dead people. Yeah.
I literally say I'm the chocolate telephone to the dead. I like that.
I want a chocolate telephone to the dead. Oh, that's awesome. Now, like for people like me that has like these instances, I always call them uncontrollable, but to like develop them, like I've had, I got when I was in my 20s into like meditation, and I discovered by accident kind of my own chakras and like had all that. What was like the first thing you kind of like start somebody out on to develop?
Well, I always tell people, when you want to develop, you want to make sure that you're in a good place, because if you're in chaos in your life, if you got, stress problems, a lot of drama, it's not a good time to develop, because you're going to attract negative, low vibrational energy, which is going to cause you to have more problems instead of trying to find it. You're going to have more problems. But to develop, basically, I say cleanse your space, create a setting. Like, this is my office where I do my readings. Have a consistent setting. Find a meditation that resonates with your spiritual path, because everybody's different. So chanting might not be your thing. Meditation, there's so many different ones, but just ask, learn to meditate, quiet your mind, and to believe what you get, because that's the biggest thing, is that a lot of times people will hear things, they'll see things, they'll smell things, they'll taste things, and they won't believe them. They'll have, like you said, they'll have those random things that come to them that they can dismiss, which they're telepathy, they're real psychic things that are happening, but we just try to kind of like explain them away.
I mean, I experienced it just the other night, like just stupid. Sometimes it's stupid, silly stuff. Like my wife, she was talking about making dinner. I forgot what it was, and I thought, oh, broccoli cheddar soup sounds good with that. I don't eat broccoli. I don't like soup. I don't even, and I didn't think she even had any in the house. And here she comes and pulls out this, like she got her own Panera bread, bring home broccoli cheddar soup. I'm like, oh, you were thinking that, weren't you? You were going to make that with it. She goes, yeah. I go, oh, I totally read that. Sometimes it's just stupid, silly stuff. But I mean, I had a time where I was holding a person who was deceased, their photo, and I know everybody's heard it, but I knew their last name, or I knew their first name, and I pretty much had their last name. I knew all this stuff about them. They hid stuff in the house from World War II. He was alcoholic. I just knew all this from holding a picture of them in a coffin. It was a picture left behind of them at a funeral, their funeral. There was no name on it. I knew all that from just holding that picture. It was just, never done that again. And I'll remember my paranormal mentor at that time, Mike McDowell, said, "Well, that happens to investigators once in a while. We all have some slight ability, but doesn't mean you're John Edwards." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." I'm like, but I read John Edwards' book Crossing Over. I thought he was really cool, and like I wanted to get into that. You trained a little bit with John Edwards, correct?
I trained with Sandy Anastasi, which was John Edwards'
That's it.
Yeah, I wanted to be John Edwards because at that time when I started, like he was the cream of the crop.
Yeah.
Van Prague, Sylvia Brown, those were the names that you heard. Doris, those were the names that you heard in this field. So you wanted to kind of emulate them and kind of learn from them. But I did. I bought all his stuff as well, all of his CDs, all his books. I read them, I did them. But yeah, I love Sandy Anastasi's system. It helped me with psychic mediumship. And she is the only teacher at that time that he acknowledged helped her learn to enhance his already God-given abilities.
And that's the thing. You're just kind of taking what you have and learning how to actually use it. I guess that's a part, like, I don't know if I'm ready to cross over to that. You talk about not having drama or things in your life. I'm a father of 2, and like I'm always got stress. I always find things to stress out about. So I'm not in that point in my life. But I did when I on my honeymoon. I also think karma could get me if I ever said I was a psychic because of this. I went to a psychic tarot reading in Gatlinburg, on our honeymoon. And this psychic, I took off my wedding ring. I hit it, and she's like, "I see you getting married soon." I'm like, too late. But then she totally got me a little bit. But she's like, "Well, I also see you going into law enforcement." I go, "Okay, well, yeah, I couldn't know that because I was." And she goes, "But you're not going to do that. You're not going to do that job." I'm like, "Okay," which was what happened. And she goes, "I see you doing something in this field, in the paranormal psychic realm, even maybe with law enforcement. I see you doing this in maybe cold cases and stuff like that." I'm not doing that. I'm not psychic. I've done that. But I've had other psychics say to me, so I feel like she set it up for all my future psychic readings. I'm going to keep being told that I'm going to be doing like psychic cold case stuff. And I'm like, I don't know about that. But she got the paranormal thing right. I've had all the psychic readings I had before. I had kids always told me I was going to have 3 kids. I have 2 and a vasectomy, so I don't know how the third one comes about. but they do get things. To my thing, what I've always said about psychics and mediums from my experience, I believe it because I've had my own personal experiences, like I just told you, that show me that this is a real thing that people are experiencing. I've had plenty of weirdness in my whole life. I mean, I talked to my unborn dead sister, I saw a green floating head. I've seen enough in my life and enough experiences to believe it's completely real, that people have this ability. Now, it's one thing to have the ability and do a reading for somebody. It's another to kind of put your name on the line or to work with law enforcement on cold cases. Can you give us a little bit? I mean, we got about 25 minutes before our next commercial break. Can you tell us a little bit of some of the other cases you've worked on?
Yeah, one that I think is most notable because it actually went across the world probably was I was doing a gallery reading here in Pensacola, and it was about 30 people in the gallery. And there was a group of girls there. One of the girls, I always go through and say, "What's your name?" And her name was Samira. Well, I have a son by the name of Samir. So I was like, "Okay, hey, I know what your name means." And, we were just kind of like, talking and just having fun. And I said, during her reading, I said, "Look, you're pregnant." And she said, "I'm not pregnant." I said, "You're pregnant. That's what those voices are telling me. You're pregnant." So basically what ended up happening, I had told her that night that she needed to stay away from whoever the father of the child was,
Ooh.
that I saw her being in danger. And then probably 5 minutes later in the room, I started seeing a body being put in a trunk in a red car. And I didn't attribute it to her at the time, but I went around the room and I went back to Samira and I, just was telling her that her dead grandma was telling me all this stuff. And I worried about her safety and about, death type of thing. 3 months later, her family came to me at the store, said that she was missing, and they asked me to look and to see if I could find her. We did a seance for her too, but I don't want to talk about that. But during the time, because I saw her floating in water and her head was Yeah. But anyway, so when the family came to me, I saw her floating in water, said that she was deceased. They then called the Pensacola Police Department that was handling the case at the time. Sergeant Thacker contacted me. I told him what I saw. She was found 2 days later in the water, like what I saw, where I
And
saw her, really.
and was she pregnant?
She
Did they
was
find
three
that out?
months pregnant.
Oh.
Yeah. The story with Samir Watkins, they made several documentaries about it. I'm featured in one of them because of my interaction with law enforcement.
Yeah.
But what was interesting about her was she was 3 months pregnant. She was a female that was dating a married man that she didn't know he was married. He was a military police officer. He murdered her, put her body in a duffel bag, and threw her in the river, ocean river, brackish water, going over to the Navy base to go to work. He just tossed her over.
See, I always say, you know, everybody's scared of the demons and ghosts and all that stuff. It's people you need to be scared of.
Yes.
There's your evil.
People are more scarier than death, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, what kind of monster could just do that to somebody, you know? But we got plenty of them. We got plenty of them. You know, that's the thing. You know, I get impressions sometimes from people, and people feel energy, and I feel energy off of people. There's some people I've just stayed away from, and I think a lot of people have that. They just don't realize it. They don't understand what they're feeling, or they, you know, like you said, when you were 10, you know, you knew your aunt's fiance was bad news. It's just, I think we all have. It's part of, like, I call it. You know, you talk about genetics. You know, our early ancestors. You know, had to survive off of instincts and survival, and you know, the ones, if you go by Darwin, the ones that survive carry on the genes that had that ability, and that's carried on in all of us, you know. And then these are warning symbols. It's just sad that, you know, when people are all tied up in their own personal business, they don't feel it. Like Samira, she didn't feel the warning, she didn't feel the danger. You know, it's sad that, you know, she was lost that way, but it's incredible that you were able to give them all that information and know this, you know, to pin down, you know, kind of where she was and what happened to her.
Yeah, and I had another case. This is when I first started, before I got afraid of it. There was a girl by the name of Patricia Peterson. They had contacted me in reference to her missing, and I literally saw her get in a truck with a guy that had a cowboy hat, and it had turkey feathers. And I remember he touched her leg, and then I didn't see her anymore. And I honestly think it was the Green Mile River Killer. Because
I wondered if you were going to say that when you, yes.
Yes. And the mom sent, what I would do a long time ago was I would get something of the victim, hold it for psychometry, kind of like what you do with the photo. Mm-hmm. And I would have like a tape recorder that I would put down here, because it was a big tape recorder with a cassette tape. And I would just literally go into a trance, and then I would just talk into the recording, take the tape out, send it to the family or law enforcement. And I would do that every night. I basically was a daycare owner in the day, a psychic detective at night. None of my family knew about it, except for my husband and kids. None of my daycare parents knew what I was doing. It was on the down low. And so with this particular girl, I remember seeing that she was in Arizona. I remember seeing her tied up to a tree. I remember seeing her leaning like this because she was deceased. And her mom, I sent all that in to her, and her mom sent me an email that I have to this day, that basically the FBI found her behind the truck stop exactly how I described her.
Oh, jeez.
So, I mean, there's been a lot of circumstances, even with, you know, suicides. I dealt with a suicide today. That we don't always get all the answers, but we get enough to give the family closure. And sometimes find bodies, sometimes it's not about finding bodies, it's just about giving the family closure.
Yeah, I mean, the worst is not knowing, you know, what happened to them. You know, not knowing, you know, if, you know, especially if they're missing, you know, the body's missing, and, you know, not knowing if they're alive or dead. I couldn't imagine what a family goes through. And that's another reason why I wouldn't want to, you know, I mean, what you do, I think, is incredible, but it's also got to be a bit stressful. There, you know, that, like I said, that expectation and trying to help a family through that. That's more power to you, because that, I wouldn't know what to say. I wouldn't know how to say to a mother about her child and their circumstances under those conditions.
the accountability, the moral accountability to what I
Yeah.
receive. I take it very serious, and a lot of people that know me know that I am like so serious about what I do, and because I do, I feel that if I were to tell someone something about their child, I'm a mom of two, just haphazardly and not be accurate. I mean, I could remove all hope from a mom, and
Right.
devastating. So I'm very particular on how I get information, and my guidance and their guidance has been good to me. So I've been blessed in that way.
Well,
I think
we've talked about on the show. Remember Sylvia Brown used to go on like Montel Williams, and as she got older, she had some stuff where people, I remember a parent asking her like about their kid and whatever, and then I think she said that they were dead, and then they later found out they were alive. You know,
yeah,
I'm not knocking Sylvia Brown. Nobody's God, nobody's perfect. And who knows what Sylvia was going through in her life at that time, towards the end of her life. I think that's when it happened. But nobody's God. Nobody knows 100%. I don't think any psychic out there could be 100% completely accurate the whole time, because you're not God.
yeah, I would agree. And so I think, and I'm not going to speak on behalf of that circumstance. I'll just say from what I've interacted with in the community that I deal with in the psychic community. A lot of times it's about being right, and it's not about discernment. It's not about grace, and it's about ego. So when ego
Yeah.
steps in, I have to give an answer, or I have to be right, or whatever. There are times when I'll say, "Hey, I'm not getting anything." It
Yeah.
is what it is. I'm not going to make up something just to give you something just so that I can give you something. I just don't do that. And sometimes people have difficulty doing that. They're on the spot, and they have to deliver, and they say something that's not accurate, and they pay for that after that.
Yeah. Because it's the expectation. She's on Montel Williams. Here's a psychic. Is she going to tell that mother right now? She's like, I'm not getting nothing. I don't know. Is she going to do that? That's why I would never, want to be put in that situation if I had that ability. I wouldn't want to be, that's a lot of responsibility. I couldn't tell anything to a mother, even if I had an impression. I don't know what to say, because as a father, that's my worst nightmare. Anything happening to my children, or, I just couldn't imagine that. It's a lot of responsibility.
I'm going to give you a scenario. I've done galleries here where there's a girl by the name of Tiffany in Pensacola that's missing. She has come to several one of my galleries. Like, I'll see her. Like, I was doing a reading for a girl. She was on my team now, and I said, I see Tiffany. Were you about to go to the beach? And this girl was supposed to go to the beach, and it wasn't going to be a good outcome, to be honest. And so I've seen Tiffany. Will I go track her mom down and say, hey, I see your deceased daughter? People have told her, Ericka has seen Tiffany. And the mom has said to the people that have told her that, I don't want to talk to her because I still hope my daughter is alive. Do you think I'm going to change that? No, I'm going to pray that Tiffany is found and that mom has her child back.
Yeah, like I said, you're not God, and if she's not asking for it, you're not gonna give it. It's what always bugged me about, like, I'm not gonna say who, but like certain psychic reality shows where and it's a lot of it's staged, where they just walk up to people and like, hey, I'm a psychic, I'm gonna give you this reading. Like, yeah, that's not how it works. Like, you don't just walk up to people and start divulging. There's a responsibility factor here, and like I said, it's Hollywood, it's TV, it's not the real deal. I'm not saying somebody's fake. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying there's some stagedness to it. Like, it's not what it appears to be. But, in general, there's a permission that has to happen to give somebody that kind of reading.
Yeah, I'm going to give you an example. I was down to Seville Quarter in Pensacola, one of the oldest haunted locations in town, downtown historic Pensacola. And we were filming, okay? And a lady was walking with her child, and I started to get a message for her, and I did not say anything to her. And then I was sitting on a bench. She came out of the bathroom, and I was getting a message for her again. I didn't say anything to her. And then something else happened. 3 things happened, and I said, look, lady, I'm here to something. I'm a medium. Will you allow me to talk to you? I have something I want to share with you on camera. Okay. And so we sat down. I had her permission but it
Exactly.
wasn't staged. It was just she was randomly there, and I made this lady cry. It was about her son and the grandson, and I cried. I mean, it was just an overwhelming experience. And I hate when psychics follow people. I'm one of those. Don't
Right.
follow or try to get your ego. Let me read you because I'm God or
Yeah.
I'm all whatever. So I'm one of those ones that won't go to you in the grocery store to give you a message that you didn't ask for. But there are times that we will be guided and we must do this. And I'm so grateful that I did not listen.
Synchronicity. Yeah, I
Yeah.
always find it amazing what spirit can do with synchronicity to bring people together, to get messages through. I've seen it. I've witnessed it. It's like, how do they even make these things work behind the scenes to make these kind of synchronicities happen, to bring a psychic and a person together? I've seen it happen.
Yeah. Yeah, and to be able to recognize it, I think is the beautiful thing that, you know, the more that we interact with the paranormal and we have these synchronicities, the more that people acknowledge their own psychic abilities, they rationalize it and see it being okay, the more synchronicities will happen.
My spiritual belief is, I say like Jediism or the Force. I believe there's a will or a force or an energy that moves life around, and it synchronizes things in such incredible ways for us to have this experience we call life and meet the people we meet. And at times, I think it brings people and medium together for that reading off the cuff. So I do think that happens quite often for the mediums I know, and from my own experiences where I've I just have like a knowing when I can tell people I'm into the paranormal. I host a show and shamelessly plug it. I don't do that with everybody. I keep my mouth shut a lot of times, about it. But there's times when just a little voice in my head says, "Yeah, this person's cool about it. You can talk to them." I work retail, and I'll have that with customers, and I'll be right on 100% every time. I don't have somebody freak out on me like, "Oh yeah, I had this happen to me." Like, I just seem to know who's been, are they experienced kind of deal.
Yeah. Well, I used to be that way, like really careful who I would tell that I hear dead people and I hear voices and see things. Now I don't care. But I'm like, yeah, I'm crazy, whatever. But yeah, I agree with you. You kind of are connected with people through synchronistic connections that are like-minded and people that are supposed to help you grow, and you're supposed to interact in their life to help them grow as well. So it's a really cool thing when those things happen.
I'm fascinated by it. I just am fascinated by the way I call it spirit. Can synchronize things to happen. I've like I said, I've witnessed it too many times to not know it is real that these things happen. Recognize the signs. Some people are like, "Oh, you're just reaching, or you're just trying." No, there's weirdness in this world. It's a force or will that moves us together, brings people together. It's incredible.
I'm going to tell you something that recently happened to me. So when I started our Second Sight Paranormal team about 2 years ago, we consisted of, a nice group of people. When I created Second Sight with the CSI here, I wanted to do crime scene investigations. So over time, over the 2 years, our team has kind of changed. Richard Johnson, which was one of my lead investigators, has gone on to do Ethereal Voices Paranormal. So he has his own team. And we've, had other people that have kind of done their own thing. But my team now consists of the CSI. I have an attorney. I have a police officer. I have a lady with her master's degree in criminology. I have a lady who worked for the Pensacola Police Department and the Sheriff Department doing criminal records and investigations and forensics. We have just, the gamut of everybody, but the focus again has come back to what I began, which was the CSI. So it's kind of like I manifested the synchronicities happen. And so now we're about to embark in doing cases again. I'm about to see dead people, but also try to help families find their dead and get answers to crime scenes and cold cases.
You had mentioned it you kind of got scared off from it a little bit. I can imagine there, especially, being a mom and having a family to protect, there is some danger because you're talking about criminals you're trying to find involved in the cases. It could somehow come back on you.
Well, thanks for reminding me of that, Jason.
Yeah. But I think it's a real reality people don't think about for somebody like you.
Yeah, for sure. And so my children at the time are very young. They're older now, and they're grown up, and they're off, and they're grown men. But yeah, that was one of the biggest things, is because my first responsibility is to take care of
Exactly.
my household, number one. And so, though I know that I was given this ability to do this, I had to take care of me first before I could help others. So I'm in a place now where I feel more comfortable putting it out there and trying to help families. And, the team is formed. So we're ready and we're about to do this. So.
That's awesome. I've always been an advocate, and like I've had a number of different mediums that work for law enforcement, advocate for this avenue for cold cases. Maybe not for primary new cases that are out there. Cops have to follow the investigation. They have to go by a certain standard, and they need evidence. But after 48 hours, and 2 weeks, 3 months, 2 years, 3 years, what are you going to lose? It's time to go out to other avenues and let's solve this. Let's find it. It bugs me to death. I'm in Indiana, the Delphi case. We've talked about on this show. That Robbie Thomas, psychic profiler, we've had on, has worked a little bit on that case. And it's just like these kind of cases like that. I want to see justice. I want to see who was responsible brought to justice. And I know the cops care. I know the detectives care. They are trying, but they have to follow rules. They have to collect evidence and they have to build a case. And it's not easy. It could take years sometimes. They might know who it is. They're not going to tell you, but they can't. They have to build the case to take it to court. It's not like Law and Order. It isn't like the TV shows in real life. It takes years sometimes for these cases, and sometimes they just need that one last piece of evidence, that one last thing to tie it all together to actually build a case against somebody. A lot of times they know who did it.
Yeah.
I mean, the cops have instincts. Cops have good instincts for this.
I still think it was one of the cops.
See, I don't know. I don't make any assumptions on the Delphi. I have my feelings about it, but I don't know. But, they have to build these cases, and sometimes that last thing is that psychic medium coming in and pointing them in just in the right direction to find that last piece of evidence to tie it all together. And I want to see more of this. I want to see people get trained on this. I think it's awesome you have a team doing this. Now, is this the show on Paraflix that you're doing? Is this are you doing any of that on the show, or is that more kind of like haunted locations you're going to?
So we're going to do both. We are streaming on Paraflix.com basically, and so right now our season 1 is about us as a team doing haunted locations. We just shot a grief documentary where we kind of talk about grief and dying. We just shot a couple of historic locations. And so we're about to work on a couple of cold cases that will actually, I'll be on site with family to read the location, and then we'll have the team do their kind of like investigation and see if we can give any new evidence to law enforcement.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it comes down to, is you have to have something substantial to find that can lead them in the right direction to build a case. I like the Delphi case. I think they know exactly who did it. I think they have a pretty good idea. We're not going to hear it. We're not going to know, because they have to have the evidence. They have to have the key that ties that person to it. They might have interviewed them. They might have like, yeah, this guy's guilty as sin, but we have nothing.
Yeah.
If you get into true crime and you read all this stuff, you find so many cases like that where they knew right away almost who the perp was, but they couldn't do anything. They had to get the evidence.
What's cool though is I am noticing a lot more departments spread out are starting to take that more serious, and they are turning to psychics when they have nowhere else to go. So it's starting to become more of a norm. Some places.
Yeah. I mean, they've been doing it for years, but it's been under the table. You don't hear about it a lot of times.
Yeah, when you think about the whole concept of police officer, you went into it being a wounded healer yourself, wanting to make a difference. So, but when you think about that blue sense that a police officer has, that extra second, that knowledge of, hey, this guy might pull a gun on me. What's telling me that? Is it the training in the book? No. It is something inside of me, information given to me that is telling me, look, when you pull this car over, you might need to be a little extra careful because I sense danger. I sense danger because I have blue sense. I have psychic ability. So I do believe that a lot of law enforcement just have those hunches that they say is psychic development and psychic ability. They go into a crime scene, they read it. So they talk to someone, they sense that they're guilty. But you're 100% correct. That blue sense, they need evidence. So that's where we kind of will try to work with that. You know, we won't be able to get all the evidence because we're not police officers. But my hope is that we want to help them and aid them in some way, especially in some of the cases here, because I feel that I kind of turned my back on my ability and what I was really, really good at initially, which was literally going into a trance and becoming the victim or the perpetrator in a murder and seeing things that scared me that I could see. And so I want to try to at least help one specific case here, because I feel like she's been crying to me for 20 years now to help her. So I want to try to do that.
To me, we've got to go to commercial break here in a second. Maybe we could talk more about this. I find it, you're not the only medium I've had tell me they have spirits that have stuck around that long, that want their case solved. And you think somebody like that, are they, I want to think their spirit, that they can move on, but are they kind of stuck here until their case is solved?
No, two of them, really, there are two cases. There's a Joanne Otto. I meet with her mom pretty much every year we eat lunch. She, her perpetrator, they know who killed her. He got released. So I almost feel like into her mom had a stroke. Her mom can barely speak. So it's almost like her mom is living this every day. I feel
it's
like
more about her mom.
Yeah, Joanna wants justice for her mom so that when her mom one day leaves this world, she has justice.
I can understand that.
Yeah, and the other one is definitely Melissa. I think Melissa's been around for a long time.
Yeah, it's always fascinating. We got to go to commercial break, Ericka, so hang in there. And then, guys, we are going to open up the phone lines when we come back. Just hang in there. Wait till we come back from commercial break before you start calling in, because I have the phone lines shut down till we come back, and we'll get all those phone lines out. You can call in, get a mini reading here from Ericka tonight. Ericka, like I said, I can let you lay out kind of the guide rules for anybody calling in if you want. Let them know anything's off that you won't do. That's cool. We'll get all that out to people. But when we come back, mini readings from Ericka, and we'll keep talking about her experiences as a psychic medium when we come back.
Conducting an experiment into the combined effects of sensory deprivation and hallucinatory drugs. The subject of the experiment is himself, and the experiment is out of control. Ken Russell's Altered States, a film that must not be missed, is in the West End now. Altered States, Certificate X.
Do you wish for more paranormal and spiritual content? The Paranormal Chronicles magazine is a free digital magazine crammed with the very best in paranormal and spiritual articles and features. No sign-up, no subscription, just free reading and knowledge for you. Read today at www.paranormalchronicles.com/magazine.
Oh, come on. I'm Southern, but... Nope. That'll do. Hello. I am Kat Hobson, host of Paranormal Experience here on WBHM Digital Broadcasting out of Birmingham, Alabama. I enjoy having guests from all areas of the paranormal, from ghosts to ufology to cryptids and beyond. You'll find some of the best researchers in their fields bringing you some great information. Join me on Wednesday nights from 8 to 10 p. Eastern here on WBHM Digital Broadcasting.
Join us every Wednesday night at midnight Eastern Standard Time for Weird Wednesday, the live stream, with your host, Jamie, the Living Dead Girl. and Rob, the Phantom, where we'll talk about all things paranormal, including zodiac, astrology, tarot card and oracle card readings, live ghost boxing and spirit communication, where we'll do Voices from Beyond, the Cold Case Files. So we hope you join us live on Facebook and YouTube every Wednesday night at midnight Eastern Standard Time. We hope to see you there. Bye-bye.
Paranation Magazine is a new paranormal magazine based out of Denver, Colorado. Our goal isn't just to give you the best paranormal content out there, but to promote paranormal unity. We're doing this by giving everyone an opportunity to tell their stories and to share their experiences. For more information, follow us on Facebook at Paranation Magazine and soon, paranationmag.com.
I've Never Met a Dead Person I Didn't Like is the extraordinary travels of a young, alone, and broke psychic in the highly anticipated new book from internationally renowned psychic, medium, medical intuitive, and best-selling author Sherry Dillard. Critics have described I've Never Met a Dead Person I Didn't Like as an engrossing memoir, an empowering story of how a broken girl came to accept her psychic gift, a refreshing and fun read. I've Never Met a Dead Person I Didn't Like is available through Amazon, Kindle, Barnes & Noble, and wherever books are sold.
Edgar Allan Poe wrote Spirits of the Dead with a pen dipped in warm blood. You will see the ultimate in terror with this important all-star cast. Brigitte Bardot, Alain Delon, Jane Fonda, Terence Stamp, and Peter Fonda in Edgar Allan Poe's Spirits of the Dead. Only Poe's demented genius could bring to the screen such horror and evil. Spirits of the Dead stars Brigitte Bardot, Alain Delon, Jane Fonda, Terence Stamp, and Peter Fonda. Directed by three masters of the cinema, Federico Fellini, Louis Malle, and Roger Vadim. Spirits of the Dead is an adventure in terror beyond your wildest nightmares. Spirits of the Dead in color is rated R.
The answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything is 42. Yes, I thought it over quite thoroughly. It is, it's 42. It would have been simpler, of course, to have known what the actual question was.
But it was the question. The ultimate question. Of everything.
That's not a question. Only when you know the question will you know what the answer means.
You're listening to Paranormal Soup, bringing you the weird every Sunday night. Call into the show and join the discussion. The call-in lines are 219-230-4444 or 260-225-9419 or by Skype caller ID OOJBland00 or JBland Paranormal Soup. And now to your host, Jason Bland.
Tonight's guest is psychic medium Ericka Boussarhane. She's going to do mini readings, about 5 minutes or so, maybe a little longer. We'll see how it goes. But you can call in. Let me make sure those phone lines are open for you guys. I always have to open them up, but I don't want to forget. So the phone lines are now open. You can call in. Those are the numbers. And if sometimes we have phone trouble, I might give out another number, Rob's, if we have any issues. I saw somebody was already trying to call in, but the lines are open. Call in for your mini reading from Ericka. We're going to keep on talking and just wait till we call upon you. And just know if you call and I hang up on you, it's because I got somebody else waiting on the line. So you just try calling back after you hear somebody hang up. There's multiple ways to call in, but let's go ahead and get back to our guest. All right, I see got a number of calls trying to come in right now. I'm trying to take. Yeah, I don't have a professional phone call system. It's cell phones rigged in, so just bear with us. I got somebody on the line. We'll get you in just a second. Let me make sure Ericka, unmute there. All right, Ericka. So I got people calling in. We'll see. I do have, just so you know, if you call in, I have a regular prank caller. If I think I hear your voice and I hang up on you, I might think you're them, so don't take it personally. But let's see. We got 609 area code. Who do we got?
Susan.
Susan. Great name. How you doing?
Good. How are you guys?
I say that because my wife's name is Susan. Lots of Susans. Lots of Jasons. How you doing tonight, Susan?
I'm fine, thank you. I'm enjoying your show.
Now, did you want to? Do you have a question for our guest, or did you want kind of a mini reading?
Yeah, just a mini reading. See what if she picks up anything. That's all.
All right, Ericka, I hand it to you.
Okay, Susan, do you have a dog in your house that's two colors like white and black?
No dog.
Okay, do you have a cat in your house that's two colors?
No cat.
Okay. Yeah, let me get you to ask me a question. So for your callers, let me get their first name and then just have them ask me a question. Because what I'm doing is I'm going into a house, and I don't know if this is yours, but I'm seeing a dog that's two colors that could be deceased. Then I'm for some reason drawn to go up what feels like stairs or something, but I could be going up in another place. I don't know. But what I get is like a male. Sometimes with me, I go directly to mediumship versus the whole other stuff. And so there's a male that could be like a husband that's really weird. Have you ever like been married and had a guy die on you?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch the last of it.
Do you have any males that are deceased that you were married to or something like that?
No.
Okay, well, I'm not sure who he is. So yeah, ask me a question.
Okay. Do you see me moving anytime soon?
Do you have like a more than one level in your house? I'm trying to figure that out. I keep going up and down. Okay.
Yeah.
So the move will be later, but yes, I could see you moving. But I'm so focused on who this dead man is upstairs right now that's trying to take me. Like if I go upstairs and go to the left, is that where your bedroom would be?
No, you would go to the right.
Okay, what's to the left on the opposite side?
Bedroom.
Okay, whose bedroom is that?
That is mother's bedroom.
Okay. Well, whoever the dead man is in that bedroom. So either he is connected to your mom as a husband. He's someone's husband. That's how he identifies himself to me. And I'm not. He's just kind of walking around. He's watching over you as family, and I feel like you're connected to him genetically because he loves you. So I'll just let you know that. And he does still give me this dog, which is like a fluffy kind of dog that's like white and black or white and brown. It's got like spots on it. So see if your mom also had a dog that's deceased that describes what I'm talking about. The move will be yes, but not right now, okay?
Oh yeah, we've had animals always. So yeah, I'll pass on the information. She'll be delighted. There's a dead guy in her room.
That's always what you want to hear. Hey, Mom.
Does she have any
Keep her on her toes.
Does your mom have any husbands that are deceased?
Deceased. Yes, she's old. She's geriatric, you know.
Okay, so that's probably who it is. What's weird is like there could be more than one. Like I don't know if this is your dad because it's weird. This could be another man. So if you've had a biological dad and then she got married again, it's just weird. The man, I don't know that he's connected to you exactly, but I know he's connected to that lady because he is the husband of someone in your house upstairs to the left. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Thank,
Thank
thank
you
you
so
for calling.
much. I will pass on this information, and you guys have a good night. Thank you.
You too, Susan. Thanks for calling in.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. I remember that watching John Edwards. Like he would do a reading for somebody, and like, it doesn't connect. I don't know what you're talking about, and then they would show follow up. Oh, I went and talked to a family member and found out. So yeah, that was this and this. Sometimes people don't know the connection. That happened to my mom with a reading I've talked about. She had a long time ago when I was a little kid. There was stuff she was definitely connecting, but there's stuff she told her she didn't know what family members she was talking about until she went and talked to my grandparents. And they're like, oh, that's got to be this. People sometimes don't make those connections. They don't know who's coming through, and they're trying to reach them, but they have like in real life like kind of like a loose connection, but they don't realize how big that connection is on the other side.
And I have to say that this is something that I learned a long time ago, and for newbie psychics as well, and for old school psychics, it's not about being right or wrong. That's about ego.
Yeah.
It's about just getting what you get and giving it. It might not make sense. It might not be right for them, and that's okay. And so I know I always see what I see, and I just say, hey, okay, maybe you don't understand it, but this is what I get, so I have to give it to you. And I think that's very humbling for us to know that we're not always going to be 100% right.
Yeah.
The message is always right, the delivery doesn't always have to be.
Oh, I remember. I mean, my Rick, who's deceased, and my friend Katrina, both of them are friends of mine that are mediums, and both of them, whatever they say, they stick to it. And it's not about being right. It's just this is what I'm getting, and I'm just giving that information. It's right or wrong. That's what I'm seeing, and they do that. Rick always stuck to his gun, and Katrina always does stick to her guns. It's not that she's saying she's right. She's just saying this is what I've gotten, and that's it's right or wrong. I don't know.
Yeah.
And I think that's always like a true sign of somebody who's really got the gift. It's like they're trained to give what is given to them and not change it or this is it. This is the information. All right, we got more people on the phone lines, and I didn't even give you a chance to give out the gold. I just threw them at you. You got any other rules you want to give to people or anything?
Good. I'm
That's
good with names. Names are first names only are consent for me, and so I'm good with the name and a question. And if I go on a different tangent, that's what I do. So yeah, I just went into her house and upstairs, and I was going to the left. So
it's interesting. I got Zach on the line. He's next, and I got my friend Captain Damage. We'll just give out his gamer tag as one of my friends waiting on the line. You guys hold on, I'm gonna get you. But one of the things I'm curious when you kind of like connect with them, you hear their voice, and you're like, is just you start getting kind of an image of, like you said, the house and the stairs just starts coming to you.
Yeah, so with her, when she was talking, the dog came first, and then I went up some stairs, and then I went that way to the left, and I could see a man standing there in the doorway, and he was talking to me. So I went visual first, and then auditory, and then he was talking to me and saying that I couldn't tell if he was her dad. It was weird, but I knew that it was something about a husband, and he was in that room.
It's like you're hearing like a little voice in your head that kind of gives you this information. Yeah, see, that's what it was like for me. That's why I'm always curious how it works. Like I said, Hollywood gives people a perception that you're like they're standing in front of you and you're talking to them. It's like my experience. That's not how it worked. There's a lot of interpretation that has to happen there. So I mean, like I said, you're not God. You're only getting pieces of the information. All right, let's go ahead and get to Zach, who called in before Captain Damage. Captain Damage, hang in there. Zach, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good, man. How you doing?
Doing good. Thanks for calling in, bud.
All right. So I just want a mini reading for tonight. Hey, Ericka, I'm Zach. Very nice to meet you. How you doing?
Hey, Zach. How are you doing? So the first thing I get, Like, are you in a living room setting where there'd be a table in front of you, like sitting on a couch or something like that?
Nope, I'm outside.
Okay. Do you have any tables in front of you?
I have a fire pit.
Okay, I don't know. So they were focused on your legs. I don't know if there's any injury to your legs or if you're having any problems with them. Just be real careful and elevate them. I do feel like there's going to be a trip coming up for you, which I'm in Florida, so it'd be to the west of me. So if you have an opportunity to travel or move, then I would tell you to do that. The other thing too is something about dreams and repetitive dreams, and you hearing to me like a great grandfather or a male that's been talking to you recently. And the concern is about smoking. Okay, so if you've been having lung problems because he passed because of some issue with lung or emphysema or something like that, I would never tell you to stop, but I would just tell you to be cautious because they're concerned about your lungs right now, okay?
You're smoking a cigar right now, aren't you?
Hey, how'd you know that?
I'm psychic. Yeah, Zach is our cigar aficionado. So when you said I'm sorry, I couldn't help. Yeah. You take care of your health. That's carcinogen.
Yeah, actually, and I did have a great grandfather. He did pass away from emphysema. So, but he worked in the coal mines for many years, and I mean he was a cigarette smoker and all that for many years. So, you know, if that's him coming through, then you know
I think so. Yeah, I think so, buddy.
Zach, I'm going to give you one more thing from your granddad. There might be some medals or something or pins that I'm going to give you, and some kind of gun thing, shotgun or some kind of whatever that's about. Okay.
I'm not really understanding.
Okay. Do you have any kind of like antique looking gun with, or some kind of replica gun with like copper on it that's like on a shelf or on a wall or something like that? Like a replica?
Nope, I don't have any kind of real or replica firearms.
Okay, I don't either. We'll see if it's the next caller because that's what I'm seeing. But thank you for calling in, and I hope that helps you. And get your legs checked, okay?
All right, I appreciate that, Ericka. Thank you very much for the reading.
Thank you, Zach.
Thanks, Zach. Stop smoking
All
those
right,
cigars.
guys, have a good night. Gotcha.
He actually had a cigar shop. I mean, he's way into cigars. So when you said that, I could help. You know, it's my friend. I don't want him to get emphysema. All right, so
if the other caller has that replica that I'm seeing.
All right, let's find out. I got a lot of other people trying to call in too, so it could be a number of them. But we got my friend Captain Damage. I don't know if he wants to give his name out at all, but
hello.
Hello, Captain. You're on.
Hey, hello, Ericka.
Hey, Captain, my Captain.
How are you tonight?
Hey, do you have
my name is Dan.
Okay,
my name is Dan, by the way.
Dan the man. Hey, Dan, do you have any kind of like? I'm stumped on this. So I was seeing with the other caller like a gun and some metals and like little circular metals or something that I wanted to give to him, but he didn't understand it. So do you have anything that's been passed down to you from like a family member, like a gun that would have copper or some kind of metal work on it, and then some coins that were given to you?
In a way, yeah.
Can you tell me about that? I'm just curious.
Coins.
Okay.
And I don't know what kind of firearm, but I know there is one.
Okay. All right. All right. So what is your question for me, Dan?
Yeah.
What's your question, Dan?
Hey, Dan. Dan, make sure you get that crypto. I don't know what that's about, but if you're on the fence about it, go ahead and get it, okay? You're going to have like two friends that are going to want you to start doing some kind of like this thing, which might be a streaming platform or something. you need to do that, okay? And the other thing too is like you slept some money with the crypto or the stocks because you didn't get into it. You need to really look at it now, okay? And get back into it. And if you already have a portfolio, you're going to need to buy what I'm gonna call cryptos right now, okay?
Okay.
Do you know about that?
Oh. I don't know about it. I haven't dealt with cryptocurrency, but I actually have been looking into it lately.
Let's do that, okay?
Guess I need to do it
But
too.
I got it.
the one question I had was, about my future and about my current situation, I think.
Okay. So, Dan, this is going to sound weird, but do you live any place like on like land where I would see something modular, like a travel trailer or mobile home or anything like that?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. It's really weird. I like to physically draw and write. The only thing I see with this is there's like a square that they're showing me, which would be a residence, and for some reason I see you moving away from that. So if that's your question, that's what I'm getting. There might be a physical move from location to one location for you in the future. But I did feel like there was an opportunity for you to partner with either a friend, maybe doing some type of streaming thing that you should definitely do, okay?
Okay.
Sure looks bright, make sure you wear your shades. That's a joke. Laugh, Dan, laugh.
Well, he actually, in a sense, has partnered with me on this stream a little bit. He's helped make the graphic for the show tonight. He's made several graphics. He's a really good artist.
Oh, okay. Well, there might be something else too that you're kind of being talked into doing, Dan. Do it, okay?
Okay.
Or we got to get our squadron together and like get in a tournament. Maybe that's Star Wars
Maybe.
squadrons. I don't know.
Maybe, yes, maybe.
Well, Dan, thank you so much, Captain Damage.
Thank you, Ericka.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
I have one more quick question. This is funny. Dan, are you looking for love by chance?
I hope not.
Am I looking for what?
Are you looking for love?
No.
No.
That's his wife on Facebook. I don't want to get crap.
So take your wife on a trip someplace. It might be in another country. And make sure you do that either this year or next year as like an anniversary or something, okay? Because I do see you with someone out of the country, like in a travel thing that would be like a wife or girlfriend or something like that. And that's something that you need to do. Also check into your, I feel like you need to be looking into your heredity. See if you have any Scottish in you or Irish, okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
All
Thanks
right.
a lot, Ericka.
Have a great night, Dan.
All right, you too.
Yeah, bye.
See ya.
I've had a lot of people trying to call in on that line that Dan was on, Captain Damage. I had to hang up on you because I can only take one at a time on each line. But if you can call in now, the lines are open. Yeah, you're saying that I call him Captain Damage because that's our gamer tag. It's how we met. That's one of those people, like, I talk about synchronicity, that we kind of, like, play his video game together, and I felt like it was just one night shamelessly plugged the show, and it was the whole rest of the night was us trying to play the game but talking about paranormal stuff. And he had a really great call into the show a few weeks ago or a month ago about a incredible paranormal experience they have. And that's like I said, you always get this feeling about people just like their experience, or they're having experiences, and he is, that I knew I could talk to him. Now, we got somebody else on the line. Let's see, 518 area code, who do we got?
This is Melissa X, cousin Kim.
Melissa X, and I missed the last part.
My name is Kim.
Oh.
I am Melissa X, cousin.
Oh,
Melissa
okay.
X.
Gotcha.
Melissa X cousin, I've been trying to get in touch with Melissa X brother for a while. I would love for you to get him in touch with me because when she would come to me in my house, she wanted me to talk to him And at the time, the wife would not relay the message. So I understand they're no longer married, maybe, but if you will relay that to him so that he can reach out to me, I would appreciate that.
How did you try to get in touch with my cousin Tommy, if you don't mind me asking?
Through his wife at the time.
Yeah, they're still married. They're still together. That's why I was asking.
Yeah, she would not relay the message.
Still there, Kim?
I'm still here.
So if you want to relay the message to him, that'd be great. He can give me a call. But as far as she really wanted me to talk to him. But yeah, if you want to ask a question, I'd be more than happy to answer it for you. But that's really, really, truly who, when she would come to me in my house on Godwin Lane, and I would have dreams about her, she wanted me to reach out to her brother. And I did try that many times through his wife, and I'm not going to get into all that, but anyway.
I can see what I can do on that end.
Okay. Thank you for calling,
But
Melissa.
that's the only thing you have about Missy, though?
I'd rather share it with him, to be honest, because that's what I promised her I would do.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. Thank you.
Thank you for calling.
Thank you, Kim.
All right.
All right, I got other people keep trying to call in here. Lines are open. I'll keep calling on the same line.
But honestly, like in that case, I have good understanding that she was involved in a relationship from what I was being told that has some accountability to her being missing. So it's kind of hard to talk about that online.
Yeah, you don't want to talk about, like I said, you don't ever want to talk about like the total alley of a cold case live on a show. No.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Here's another call. I want to grab that, but do you think? I mean, whoever. Well, I probably have to take these calls. I got them all flooding in here. Let me see. Let's get this call. Well, oh my God, there's other lines open. People, they keep calling in on the same line. All right, we got 601 area code. Who do we got?
Hi, Jason. This is Turquoise Diva.
Oh, hey, Turquoise. It's good to hear from you.
Hey.
Eric, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. What is your question for me tonight?
I wanted to know if you could get in touch with my mom, if she had any messages for me.
Okay, let me focus on Turquoise and her mom. Okay, so like right now, I'm an August birthday, okay, so we're in February. A lot of times there are messages in the month of those things. So this would be anniversary of death or a birthday that's celebrated. She gives me a bunch of like what I would call yellow daisies, white daisies, yellow daisies to give to you. And there's a feeling of being very proud of you. I don't know if you're in the medical field or you took care of her in the end. And there are, to me, visits. Sometimes the visit will come into like a smell or a feeling of her presence around you. But notice birds. Birds to me are like a connection to her. They might fly in your house. They might just be really visible outside because I feel like she would show you messages like that. And for some reason also, I feel like she's also connected to the grandmother. So it's not just the mom that would be passing or passed. And the grandmother would also show you the red cardinal. The mom is like, I don't know if she smoked because I can smell like smoke also, like, you know, cigarette smoke. But I know that she is in what I call a good space, and she must have been sick because she would show me that she looks young and not ill at passing. Okay.
Wow. Well, you were spot on. I'm a doctor. My birthday's in August, by the way. She died from lung cancer. Let's see, January of 2017. And my husband's got stage 4 lung cancer. I'm just having a really bad year, couple of years.
Girl, I'm giving you a hug from Pensacola, okay?
Okay.
And what is your? I'm August 2nd. Just curious. What is yours? Like the 5th or something?
No, mine's the 26th of August.
Okay. I have a brother that's like the 5th or 4th or something like that. I always confuse his birthday. But this is what I would tell you. Talk to mom. She is going to continue to guide you in doing the right thing for your husband. I know there's a change of medication or some type of treatment that you're a little iffy about. Go ahead and do it, okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you for calling and God bless, okay?
I appreciate it so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Turquoise.
I love her name. Oh gosh, why didn't I get that name?
That's a great name. Okay, we got Chandra on the line. How you do tonight?
I'm great, Jason. How are you?
Doing good. Thanks for calling in.
Oh yeah, whenever I can catch you guys, I follow. It's been a crazy few weeks, but
Yeah, I've seen some of your posts. I hope you're doing all right.
Hanging
You and
in
your
there.
daughter.
Yeah. Katie, I'm on the phone. But yeah, I was calling to see if I could maybe get a mini reading from whom I need to speak to.
Hey, Shauna, do you have wallpaper in your house someplace? Some kind of texture on the wall?
No, yeah, they're plain white walls.
Okay. So have you ever lived in a house before this where there was like wallpaper or texture on the wall, like lines with triangles?
Oh, really quick. Sorry, before you answer, Chandra, make sure you don't have the show playing in the background, do you?
Oh, you know what? Hold on. I have you on speaker. I'll take you off.
Yeah.
It's just easier for me to hear on speaker.
I know.
You know my deafness. No, I took it off. I apologize.
It's all right.
Okay, so this is a weird thing I'm gonna share with you. If you have any children in your home that see things, there is a spirit in the home, okay, that they will see, because I can see it. And this comes from another house. You're probably very psychic as well, along with this child. And I don't know if this child has some type of development issue or they're just really, really.
Oh, that was weird. We'll get to that later. Keep going.
Yeah, but it's not a good thing. It felt weird. Like, have you like saged your house or cleansed your house? It felt kind of oppressive.
Yes. In fact, we just saged not long ago. I've had something follow me for a long time.
Okay, I agree. And where it started was that house. Have you ever lived in New York or up north?
No, I did not, but my mother did.
Okay.
Yeah, I've pretty primarily lived on West Coast.
This house that you were in probably when you were little had wallpaper.
I was a baby.
Yes, I can see it.
Mm-hmm.
It's been with you since then.
Well, you want me to tell you about that house? I don't remember it because I was too little. But my mom lived in this house with my dad and my uncle and his wife, and I was born when they lived in that house. And in that house, they would have a shoe that would go from heel to toe, all the way down the hall. My uncle told me that the shower curtain told him that his wife was pregnant. It was like breathing, and it told him she was pregnant.
That's creepy.
And she was pregnant, and that he would have a son. They had a lot of really weird things happen in the house. My mom said they tried to burn down the house. They found a burned Bible, like hidden up underneath, like a hidden shelf up in the closet, where it had like a hidden insert. And I know they played with the Ouija board that they probably shouldn't have. But she said they tried to burn down the house. That they tore up the mattress, poured gasoline on it, lit it on fire, ran outside. They could see the flames in the window, and then all of a sudden it went out like somebody just blew it out like a candle. And they went in, there was no fire damage whatsoever. They said they just left. They left everything. Like
But your family tried to burn down the house.
My mom tried to burn down the house.
Wow.
Yes. My mom and my dad, but I don't remember it, and because I was just a baby. I mean, we moved out of there. My mom left when I was 1, so we moved out of there when I was a baby. I don't remember it at all. But I've definitely had something follow me throughout my life. And the first instance, I've told Jason about was when I was 12, whenever I first had any weird experience. But my kids have definitely been affected by it.
Yeah.
So,
You
yeah.
also have a I think this is a male on, like I see him over here, but I don't know how he's connected to you, but he is a suicide. I think it's an overdose actually, but it's accidental suicide. It's not really a suicide, it's an overdose. But I do know that he's at peace, and so there's something unfinished about that between you and him. So you might want to just call me about that on off the air, okay? If you understand
Oh,
what.
yeah, I don't know. I'm like thinking, oh no.
Okay, it might be next caller. That happens to me, especially when I.
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the thing with the
Okay,
radio
well,
thing is some stuff is too personal. She's not gonna talk about it on air, and I get
right.
that.
I agree. I agree. So, I mean, I'll definitely get her contact information and whatnot.
We're
You know,
we're bringing this up. I mean, where does somebody contact you? Like
Okay,
Chandra.
so yeah, you can go to coldcasepsychic.com or secondsightparanormal.com. The message, if you,
okay.
this is what I always tell people: if I say something to you and it doesn't, it's not like a light bulb right then, it's not for you.
Right.
So what I'm
Well,
thinking.
and then sometimes it doesn't resonate at the time, but then later on you like, oh yeah, by the way. I've had that happen
This
before.
resonate with you like you would have had. Yeah, it's not for you then, because it should just
Right.
hit it just like that.
Right.
But I don't know
Yes,
if
but
I answered your question. So what was your question, honey?
well, no, I was just trying to see if I could connect with my ex-husband just recently passed, and things have not been going very well. With
Did he have any like medication in the system, like over medicated type of thing?
that I don't know. He had COVID.
Okay, yeah.
So mhm.
Yeah. Sometimes, and this is what I tell people. Sometimes we don't get a message from the person that we want to talk to, and
Right.
I don't get him. Okay, I do get someone else, but I don't get your husband. Okay, or your ex-husband.
Okay. That's understandable. Okay, well, thank you very much for your time. I'm going to give up time for the other callers because it's hard to get in. You're a popular lady.
Yes, she is.
But know that you are truly haunted by something. It is not imaginary because I did see it. Okay, keep your house staged because what happens is it's a repetitive thing. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's very oppressive. I'm not going to go into detail because it's not, but yeah.
I saw it. I know what you're going to say.
Okay, well, thank you very much. I'll try to reach out to you through the other contacts. I know Jason posts all that stuff. So.
Okay.
All right, thank you, Chandra. You have a great night.
Thank you, Jay. You too, sir. Bye.
I saw several people trying to call in on that line this time. It's like they keep going back and forth. But yeah, call in, guys. Lines are open. We're going to get a commercial break in about 20 minutes. I had a thought. Well, I know we'll get back to is the poster that fell down behind you during all this. Was that something?
Yeah. Yeah, her oppressor is not.
Is that a warning?
No, it honestly felt like a male, and I almost felt like the children would see it, an animal in the house would see it and respond to it like a cat or something. And she probably has got scratched or touched or something because it wasn't a good spirit.
Yeah. For people listening on the radio, we're a video live stream. I got the camera on Ericka. We're watching it. If you heard me go, oh well, that was the poster behind her coming off the wall, which was a little odd. It looks like sometimes Google Voice gets the names wrong, so I don't know if this is my friend calling back. But who do we got online here?
This is Captain again.
Hey,
sorry to call back again, sir, but I was just looking back at some of her earlier readings, and some of her earlier readings made more sense to me.
Oh, like stuff when she was
mine.
talking about for other people?
Yeah.
Oh, so what connected?
My black and white dog, my stairs, my 2 bedrooms, my stuff like that.
Do you think you could have been picking up on Dan here when it was that? Because he was waiting online a while there while you were doing that too. So he was online for some of that.
I wish I could accept that, but I don't
I know.
honestly. But you know, we never know. But I don't feel that that's what I was focused on at that time. I do feel like it was for her, but maybe she didn't understand it.
Neither
But
did I.
I mean, you know, who knows? There's always synchronicities in readings. So if you felt like it was a message for you, I would just accept it as that. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I just didn't know if maybe sometimes with everybody listening and calling in, you got some mixed, you know.
Could be. Could
Yeah, there's a
be.
lot of energy going on. I can see that.
Yeah.
All right, Dan, I'm gonna let you go though, because you broke a rule. No
All
calling
right,
in
I'm
twice.
sorry.
It's all right, buddy.
I'm
You're my
sorry.
friend. It's cool.
All right.
All
See you,
right,
man.
all right. Later, bud. Old Art Bell rule. Don't call in twice, but he's my friend. I got to take the call.
Yeah.
But yeah, lines are open. I know I let him call back twice. That's cool. We can break the rule once in a while. But anybody else right now, lines are open. You call in. We got commercial break in about 15 minutes or so. What was I? Oh,
while we're waiting.
yeah, actually, yeah. You get anything on any of us, like Rob?
I was very drawn to Rob. I don't know why. I like the whole dark.
He
Like
draws
vibe.
people to him. Yes, the
Yeah, he's got
darkness.
like a dark vibe. Like we could listen to some cool music together.
Oh yeah.
Sure. What I get with you, Rob, is that I want to see a pen in your hand, and I want to see you writing if you're not writing, because I feel like there's several books in you that maybe you haven't done yet, but we need to do, or music, either both. Okay. And then this other thing is that you're also haunted as well. And then I have this little small lady who I don't know if she's your grandma, how I'm seeing her, if she's your great grandma. But like she's not tiny like Sophia tiny, but you're big, she's small, and she's powerful in the sense that she might be a little small thing, but she's like so powerful. And I do feel like she kind of could be great grandma or grandma. I feel like she has visited you and she might have been instrumental in your childhood more so than your biological mom. And I do feel like sometimes when they show me being very proud of a person, that a lot of times means they've gone through obstacles and they become like a great young man, and so she's given that acknowledgement of watching over you. And then so the funny thing about, like, I do cars and motorcycles are like this, cars are like this. There probably been some close calls in both because you were like with this death wish thing. And so maybe like what she's trying to say is that, you know, even though you had a death wish, she watched over you. Okay.
All right. Yeah, I pretty much quit riding my motorcycle because of that. And you said some things earlier too, like just like what Captain was saying. You said some things earlier that kind of resonated with me as well. So
Okay, so I just got this real vision about something, which is kind of weird. Like, if I were to, I know this sounds weird, but if I were to like take off a shirt or your chest, do you have any like big something here or on your back, really big, like a tattoo or some kind of scar or something that's prominent, back or front?
What about your surgery you need?
well, yeah, I have a hernia that I need surgery on. That's on the front of me.
That would be
Living
down.
with a honey. No, sorry.
That
I
would
have,
be down here. I'm talking about like up here. Do you have anything like up here or here?
yeah, I got a big tattoo on my arm, but other than that, no.
Okay, here, let me draw what I see. Anything look like that?
Let me pull her screen up. It's like
Like wings or something? I don't know. Anything that's archy like that, tattoo wise?
No.
Okay. I don't know.
Could be the other caller I got waiting.
Yeah.
We try.
Yeah, yep. All right, we got 910 area code. Who do we got?
That's me. I'm Angela.
Angela, thank you for calling in.
Hey, how you doing, Jason?
Doing good.
Good, good. I was hoping to say hello to Ericka. Hi.
Hello, Angela. You don't happen to have any wing-oriented tattoos on your body, do you?
Yeah, actually, I have a dragon.
There
Is
you
it on
go.
your back by chance?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. See, that happens. It's like
Yeah.
it's like they're in line waiting for me to.
Yeah, that's what I picture. Yeah.
It's just kind of crazy. Okay, what is your question for me, sweetie?
I have been feeling over the last week or so that somebody is trying to give me a message, and I don't know what it is or who exactly it is. There's so many people on the other side that I know, and I'm just wondering if you were able to tune in and figure that out for me.
Okay, so you know how sometimes we have a dad and we have a grandpa? Sometimes our grandpas are connected with us, like really sometimes closer than our biological father. Do you have a cat, a real cat in the house, like a living one right now?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, because what I'm seeing is a cat, like a cat scratch, you know? So what I'm seeing is this cat is interacting with this deceased male who feels to be your grandfather, okay? Your grandfather has come through for you because I don't know, there's a little like I can't say he's a little boy, but say if you had a son or some kind of child that's a male living in your home or that you're worried about right now, he's kind of here saying, hey, I've got this, I'm working on this for you. There's been like a lot of financial stuff going on too. Maybe there's worry about money or job or career or whatever that's about, or the layoff or some kind of stop work. And so with all those stressors, you know, we pray, we ask for help and guidance, and they don't like to see us suffer and they don't like to see us upset. So what I feel the message is that this is a little tough love for you, girl. Okay, Angela. It also feels like they're pushing you out of the bed. So there might be a little bit of sadness, depression. You need to get up and get out and do things. And you're going to change your life. There's going to be a new opportunity for like a job or something like that, whatever that is. But I do feel like you've got to either put somebody out your house or do some tough love. And they're really wanting you to do self-care, okay? Self-care over other people right now, okay?
Okay.
And I don't know, are you taking in animals or something? Because like I get a lot of animals around you. Like, are you feeding stray cats outside or something?
I'm not the one feeding the stray cat outside. My mother-in-law does, but I help her now and again.
Okay. But yeah, just know that you're actually being watched over right now, and financially things are going to get better. And if it's a work situation, there might be some change or a new opportunity for you to do some things. Okay.
That'd be awesome.
Thanks for calling in, Angela.
Thank you so much, Ericka. You have a great night.
Thanks for calling in, Angela.
All right. Good night, all.
Phone lines are blowing up.
I
keep having to hang up.
I can't say on that reading that you were talking about me with writing and stuff with a pen. I do play music and write music, and I had a band practice tonight. And we were talking about writing some original music, and the girl singer in my band said, well, pick up a pen and start writing some lyrics down. So
there you go.
You can write a song about Ericka, the psychic girl.
There you go. Ericka.
Curious and stuff.
And my grandmother and my aunt and my mom were all pretty small women as well. So my grandmother, my aunt were real important to me.
Your grandmother was, you know, like Sophia, like she didn't look like her exactly, but did she have that poofy white hair?
You've been talking about Golden Girls, Sophia?
Yeah, Sophia.
Yeah.
Like Italian Sophia, you know, like with the poofy hair. Did your grandma feel like her or look like her in some way?
Maybe a little bit. Yeah, my aunt. I mean, she had white hair. It wasn't real big, but yeah.
I felt like she was small, but like her energy was like tall and big and could knock you out if she needed to.
Yep.
Yeah. Little small burst of energy, but she was definitely powerful.
Yeah.
It's the small ones that are powerful usually. The ones you need to be afraid of.
Yeah.
Yeah, my grandma was definitely the psychic of the family for sure. She was the one that would always sit there and say, she'd get up and go to the phone and people would be, what are you doing? She's like, somebody's getting ready to call, and like 30 seconds the phone would ring.
Hmm. Pretty cool.
All right, let's see if we can take one more call before our commercial break here. We got an 860 area code. Who do we got?
Hey, everybody. It's Adrian from Connecticut.
Hey, Adrian.
Hi. Hi, Ericka. This is exciting. I've actually never, ever had a one-on-one reading before.
All this time you've been listening to the show,
readings.
you've never called in for one of these?
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think you have.
No. I do readings for other people all the time, and
Yeah.
I've just never had one for myself. And I might have been the stray cat lady. I always have stray cats that find me. So,
okay.
Anyway, Ericka, my question is, because I am pretty perceptive, but I don't seem to be able to connect with my mom, who passed away a long time ago in 1988. Would you happen to know if she's reincarnated?
Okay, so let me ask that question for you. So ironically, do you ever have like a bird sit on your windowsill, or have you had any birds like sit someplace where you can literally see them?
Not on the windowsill, but I've had a weird thing happen after my husband passed away at midnight. Birds don't fly at night. But yesterday, and I live in Connecticut, I had a bluebird land about 2 feet from my door. It was indeed a bluebird. I don't think they're supposed to be around here in the winter time.
Right?
Yeah. Well,
and my father had a funny saying about that, too. So I would connect that with my dad.
I would agree. The feeling is that someone, male, had a bird like sit right there for you, or asked a bird to do that. Your mom is a little bit more subtle. She is the one who literally, so I'm in your, well, I like to draw it out, but I'm in your bed now, and there is a lady standing right to, if you're laying down in your bed, she's to your left where the door is, okay? So there's an entrance to her. She's standing right there. That could be a bathroom or some other exit door. She is the one who woke you up during the time of you going to sleep and having the sleep apnea, where you're stopping breathing. So she's trying to let you know she is definitely present. I think you're just not connecting to her because it's been so matter of fact, but you do have her waking you up. Have you been tested for sleep apnea?
No, I have not. I only sleep like I nap, so I don't sleep very well. I don't know if I have it or not. So,
see if you're snoring. I do feel like you, excuse me, that you are. As far as your mom is concerned, I do feel she does visit you. I don't know that she's reincarnated, but she shows me like elephants, so there might be some connection to like liking them or seeing them or something like that. I can't say that she's an elephant.
I just bought a small one for a friend at a shop as a housewarming present. I just bought an elephant, and I tried to mail it yesterday, but I missed the post office.
See, that's so I mean, like, okay, I'm sorry, I have to interrupt her. Just to show people listening, Ericka's live. She doesn't know who she is. People's like, oh, there's no cold reading here. She could pick any animal. There's a billion different animals. She brings out elephant, and here it is, right there. I'm sorry, I have to just call that out. That's awesome.
You know, it's been a while, and I think my mom may have liked elephants. I think. It's just been too long now.
Well, I think what that is telling me, because I can see her standing near your bed, and if you sleep on the left-hand side, usually when laying in your bed on the left, that's her standing there near that door, right? She's saying, hey, I'm here, I'm here, I'm here. And so I think she gave me the elephant to validate her presence. And so because you're so connected, you probably are just not even aware of it, because it's just like, okay, you know, she's here and I don't really sense her anymore. So maybe just start talking. Go ahead.
Yep, she knows what I'm doing. She saw what I was doing.
Yeah, that's what it tells me.
Yes, that's exactly
right,
what you're
very
telling.
good.
Yeah, and I'm
Well,
gonna tell you,
thanks, Ericka.
She just showed me, like, go outside and ground in the dirt, like in the grass in your backyard, and talk to her. She will show you signs in the tree. She'll show you birds. And there might be like little small things like ladybugs and stuff that'll like, fly around you. But she sends you so many signs all the time. The wind blowing sometimes when you're just thinking about her. But you're an earth girl, like I feel very comfortable just grounding in the grass and just meditating and talking to her above. And that's like a chat that you used to do that you don't do anymore. So do that again, okay? She hears you.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, the last time I really tried to connect with her was when I was having 15 people over for an outdoor event. She has a habit of being able to control the weather so it doesn't rain on our parade, so to speak. And it was 5 p.m. and it was supposed to pour. And this was predicted all day. And it held off until 7 p.m. until everybody left. And they kept on moving it ahead 10 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 minutes. It's going to rain in 10 minutes. This went on for 2 hours. So I know with the wind blowing and all that, I know what that means. Yeah.
Yeah. Your mom is pretty rock star. I like her.
She was a hot ticket. I like my mom was something else. Well, that was an awesome read. I like your style. I like the way you roll.
Like I meet people energetically, and I'm like, I can hang with her. Me and you could hang. We could have some tea together. I feel this.
Like she said, she could dine with kings and sup with the peasants under the bridge. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Take care.
All right.
Thank you, Adrian. All right, we're about to go to commercial break. People, you can call in, but I will be shutting down the lines once we hit commercial break, and we'll open them back up when we come. I've had a lot of people trying to call in. I see Dina, I think I saw the name in there, calling on her. I saw her husband's name that she's doing on Facebook. I saw you trying to call in, and other people are on the line. You can keep trying. The lines are open, but like I said, we're going to go to commercial break here, and when we come back, I'll open up the phone lines again. So just wait to call until after we come back from commercial break. Because I have to shut them down during commercial break. There's a technical reason for that. But we are going to go to commercial break, and we got about half an hour left of the show. You guys can call in. Mini reading from Ericka. You're blowing my mind, Ericka. Blowing my mind. And I've had other psychic mediums on here who've done the same. I'm always just amazed at what you guys are able to pull out on people. And people are like, oh, they're cold reading. There's no cold reading here. There's no way you could know. She just gave an elephant as a gift to somebody. You call that out. That to me, that's incredible. So we're gonna go to commercial break. People, call in. Get your mini reading from Ericka. She's amazing. We'll be right back.
Intercepted a transmission of unknown origin.
Transmission? Out here?
SOS.
Human.
Unknown.
Alien. Certificate X. Exclusive engagement at the Odeon Leicester Square. Now.
Any systematized transmission indicating a possible intelligent origin must be investigated. I don't want to hear it.
In space, no one can hear you scream.
If you are interested in discovering the truth about the paranormal and want to hear from leading researchers in the field, join Justin Brown on his 3 weekly shows named My Paranormal Soapbox, Necromancer Live Show, and the Supernatural Symposium, live on Facebook, YouTube, and InterfaceDeath.net.
This is an APAC studio presentation.
Hi, I'm Barry, owner-operator of Barry's Barometer Barn. Lately, I bet you've been lying awake at night asking yourself, how many barometers do I really need? Well, at Barry's Barometer Barn, we think you need more than one. Otherwise, we're gonna go out of business. Remember, at Barry's Barometer Barn, we don't know the meaning of high-pressure sales. Come on, folks, buy another barometer. I'm trying to put my kids through college, I've got a family to support, and a secret mistress who isn't cheap.
Visit Barry's Barometer Barn, 000 Storm Drive. Come on, folks, buy a barometer. I'm Barry's older brother, Larry, and every time one of you people walk past the store without coming in, Barry beats me.
This has been a presentation from Tim Morgan's APAC Studio. For more almost professional amateur comic studio content, visit the APAC YouTube channel. Search APAC 2002. That's APAC 2002 on YouTube.
When Alex Gardner is asleep, he has an extraordinary gift. The government wants it, the scientists want it, but to keep it may cost him his life. It might be better if Alex didn't sleep at all, but he cannot resist entering the dreamscape. Can you? See Dreamscape in the West End and all over London now. Certificate 15. It takes an extraordinary adventurer to enter the dreamscape.
Are you intrigued by Paranormal Talk Radio? You'll love the new Paranormal Radio app from Talkstream Live. You'll find a great selection of talk shows covering UFOs, ghosts, strange phenomena, and much more. Download the Paranormal Radio app now and start listening to the very best in paranormal talk entertainment, including the network you're listening to right now. The Paranormal Radio app, free in Google Play and the iOS App Store.
Join us every Wednesday night at midnight Eastern Standard Time for Weird Wednesday at the live stream with your hosts Jamie, the Living Dead Girl, and Rob, the Phantom, where we'll talk about all things paranormal, including zodiac, astrology, tarot card and oracle card readings, live ghost boxing and spirit communication, where we'll do Voices from Beyond, the Cold Case Files. So we hope you join us live on Facebook and YouTube every Wednesday night at midnight Eastern Standard Time. We hope to see you there. Bye-bye.
Since 1948, Fate magazine has brought you reports of the strange and unknown, all of them true. Fate Radio is carrying on that tradition, bringing you the unusual, macabre, strange, and bizarre. Join host Kat Hobson Sunday nights from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern on WBHM Digital Broadcasting.
Heat 'em up.
Do, re,
Egon.
You're listening to Paranormal Soup, bringing you the weird every Sunday night. Call into the show and join the discussion. The call-in lines are 219-230-4444 or 260-225-9419 or by Skype caller ID OOJBland00 or JBland Paranormal Soup. And now to your host, Jason Bland.
Tonight's guest is psychic medium Ericka Boussarhane. She has been amazing with the calls so far tonight, and I always love it when I have these psychics on, and mediums, and they do this over the phone. It's just incredible to me that they can just pick up on people's information just from the sound of their voice. They connect to get this information. I mean, like I said, I felt just the elephant in the room, the little elephant that she knew had a connection to the person she had on the phone. I mean, there's a billion different animals you could pick. She could throw out any animal out there. It had to be the one that she just mailed off her friend. I mean, These are real connections. This is a real thing people are able to do, and Ericka's one of them. She's blowing me away tonight. Let me make sure the phone lines are open here. I'll let you know. I had somebody's like, I don't know how long the commercials are. Commercials are about 5 minutes long, but now the phone lines are open. If you want to call in, get a mini reading from Ericka for this last half of the show. They're already calling. But let's go ahead and get back to our guest. All right, I already got somebody on hold here. The phone lines are blowing up for you, Ericka, tonight. You're doing an amazing job. Oh, I got to unmute you. That'd be nice. That's my bad. Now you can talk.
Okay, I just realized I could see the comments. I just figured that out. So, guys, I don't know if y'all thought I was being able to see them. I wasn't, but someone said they loved my dog. Thank you, someone who loved my little dog named Rocky.
All right, so let's get to the next call. We got 904 area code. Who do we got? Whoever's there, make sure you turn off your live broadcast. Hello.
Oh, hello. My name is Dinah.
Dinah, that was it. I was trying to get it.
It's okay. It's like dinosaur or dynamite or dinosaur.
Awesome. Dynamite. Welcome for calling in, Dinah.
Thank you. Well, I have an unusual request. I'd like a reading, but I'm a little guarded. Rob knows me. I'm not guarded with him, but he's nice. But
you said I'm not nice, or Ericka's not nice? We're nice.
No, y'all are nice, but this is my first time calling in, and I've never done this.
Well, welcome.
I've called in, but not to this.
You're with friends.
It was Lex and Terry.
You're with
and
friends.
they insulted me.
Oh.
Don't tell me I'm not turning you on. Like Lex and Terry said. But well, I wasn't trying till I was reading them an article, but that's TMI. Anyway, something recently happened, and I'm a little guarded about it. But I'm curious what she thinks if she were to hear my voice. I'm a little hoarse, not like he, but you know. Well, I'd like her to kind of, I don't know what the word is, do the reading without me telling her my life story.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
that's a general.
I don't know what kind of questions she would ask, you know.
Okay, Diana Shore, I'm going to ask you a weird question. Do you really go by that name? Diana, do you really go by that? Because honestly, it feels foreign.
No, you did not. No, you did not. Okay, no, I'm going to just like.
I feel like you have a nickname or something else that I would call you that doesn't feel right.
Well, in real life, you know, my friends know me as Dinah, but at work I call myself D because I don't want to repeat myself because I have a little bit of a type B personality. I'm subservient. So instead of repeating myself over and over to these valuable customers, sorry, but I'm okay. I slept 6 hours already. Sorry about that.
It's all right.
But I call myself D at work. And so that's how that goes.
Okay, so I'm gonna call you D, okay? All right.
Okay.
So D, let me give you the first thing I get for you. I want you to check your thyroid because there seems to be some issue with that. Your hormones are a little bit off right now. Okay.
Oh, they're
Not
off.
a big deal. But okay, so getting into kind of like just focusing on something, I'm gonna go paranormal with you, okay? And this is gonna sound kind of strange, but are you suffering from what feels like sleep paralysis, or someone that would be hovering over you, like that you would wake up and see, or you can't move, or have some kind of trauma like that?
No, I'm in constant worry about my spouse because he hovers over me like a daddy. But because I have occasional insomnia, I keep it to my damn self because one night I had the insomnia because my left arm was killing me. I had tendonitis in both elbows, TMI. But I was like, just FML. So I just got the hell up. And I got up and started pounding water, coffee, and cigarettes. And I said, I'll just pretend. And then the other night, one night I couldn't sleep. And I said, FML again. and I just was quiet, and I was like watching Facebook and reading because I'm kind of an internet geek. I'm not a smart internet geek. I'm geeky enough to be dangerous. So I was up watching stuff, and I said, and then whenever he woke up, he came around the room, and he kind of sneaks up on me. I think he's psychic. He's part Indian. We both are, but he's really deep. And he comes on the corner, he's freaking me out and shit. And he goes, what are you doing? And then I pretended like I've been sleeping, and I go, oh, I just woke up. So I play little games with him, but he plays head games right back because he can like look in your eyes and tell when you're lying. So, like my mother did. Freaky, right? That's because we've been married 30 years, and then we dated several before that. We were engaged 3 years, but he thinks we were engaged a year, but I got the receipt. So about my health, I want to mention the thyroid to me.
Making my head explode.
I am?
I love you, girl, but you're making my head explode. Let me
Am I frightening you?
a direct question, because I can listen to you all night. And we've got other callers that want to ask a question, but you're a fun girl. You ever come to Pensacola, holler, okay? Do you have a direct question you want to ask me?
Yes. Other than the thyroid, what do you see in my immediate current health?
I would probably scan you and say, get the eyes checked, get the thyroid checked, and you know how sometimes female organs have to go away? How we
Organs have to go away?
Sometimes. That might happen.
What has to go away?
Female organs.
What goes away?
Female
My
organs.
organs. What the hell?
Them
Oh, well, shit, they've been gone. I mean, they're still there. They're there, but they're not going anywhere, I hope.
Okay, say that one more time.
Okay, my organs are still intact, but I don't breed. You know what I mean? I'm not breeding. I never had bred. I don't have children. I wanted them, but then when we couldn't have them, I said, that's not a problem. Okay. So I'm not breeding currently. You know what I mean? Like as a female.
Yeah, okay. So
I can't breed. I don't want to.
Sometimes when they show it going away for me, that's like a hysterectomy. So if that happens or you have to have a partial, don't freak out, okay? Thank you for calling Diana.
Thank you. Well, that's cool. I appreciate the D. And what you really did was you shocked me when you said, I have a feeling you go by another name. How did you? Wow. Oh, wow. Okay, well, I'll follow up because
weird stuff, girl. I ain't figured it out yet. When you figure it out, you let me.
Right.
Wow, you're gifted. I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna be quiet and go back to watching. I love y'all. Thank you for your time, Jamie. Thank you.
Thank you, Dinah.
My appreciation.
All right, and other people still trying to call in. You can call in. We still got some time for some readings. Yeah, I'll ask for myself. Do you pick up anything for me? I gotta be a little selfish.
I did. I was writing Jason up there. You have a child that needs to get their eyes checked. Not bad. Just there is.
It's weird that you say that. My wife the other night was like asking my youngest one, like, "Can you read this from here?" And he's just learning letters. Mm-hmm. But she's like, "Can you tell what this is?" He's 6. And he could read it, like we're all hoping they have my eyesight, which is like perfect. And not my wife's eyesight, where she's blind as a bat without contacts or glasses. And so far it seems they've had their eye doctor's appointments. It's been good, but we'll keep an eye on that.
Pay attention. What I'm seeing is like, you know how like when you comprehend and read, sometimes it's highly intelligent kids that do this too. So it could be either or. It could be not that he needs glasses, but there's something to do with
like dyslexic,
like when he sees things. So I don't think he's dyslexic exactly, because that would be a reverse for me when I see it. I just think that he's got a lot of stimulus, so he might be really smart. And when he reads, he might need to stop because it's all like coming together and jumbled, or he's taken too much in at one time when he's reading. So like some kids, like I took speed reading when I was in high school. Yeah. Some people just read it all together. Some people have to break it down. And we were taught like to follow it with the finger. He won't have to follow it with the finger. He'll just go. So his concentration.
Well, it makes sense. He recognizes ever since he's little, like, like, oh, did you read that? Because he'll say like he reads something, but it's just he's able to memorize certain logos and things and names and stuff. He just doesn't know the letters, but he knows what it means.
Mm-hmm. So you might find that his brain is going to be like really hyper or really fast learn. Okay.
All right. Well, I'm impressed by what he's learned. He's gone to 2 different schools this year for a kindergartner. It's amazing he's learned anything with COVID, switching schools. I'm just amazed he's able to learn anything. I've been really worried about that. So, all right, we got somebody else on the line here. 804 area code. Who do we got?
Hi, Jason. This is Linda.
Hey, Linda.
How are you doing this evening?
Is this Linda from Virginia?
Yep.
Hey, Linda from Virginia. How you doing?
All right, hanging in there. Good evening, Ericka.
Good evening. Do you have cremation in your house?
I'm sorry, what?
Do you have cremation in your house?
Oh my gosh, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
More than one.
I'm so weird, I think. Sometimes, like, people will talk to me and I'll go directly in their house to cremation. So go ahead and ask your question. I'm sorry. I just was curious.
I'm kind of see if you hit on 2 things, and if not, then I just want your personal opinion on a subject. Do you pick up anything other than cremations around me?
Well, could one of those cremations be an animal and one of them be a person?
Yes, I'm both.
Okay. I know that I'm picking up on a dead animal around you, okay? The dead animal is kind of sitting on you, kind of resting the head on the chest, the lung area. So if there's been any abnormal mammograms or anything like that or problems with your lungs, they will highlight illness for you. Animals do that. I'm not super worried about it, but I would definitely tell you to follow up and do what you need to do, okay?
Okay, gotcha.
We got to talk about a little legality now, unfortunately. So sometimes when parents pass, there's drama in the estate. I do feel like you've gone through this. You have a relative who feels like your mom, who might have passed, that had some issue with the legality of either the estate or the will or whatever. I want you to know that whoever this was apologizes to you because you feel like you endured a lot because of this, okay?
Okay, gotcha.
That's what I'm on. Did you have a direct question?
Well, going with that, in seeing that you did pick up on that, do you get anything on numbers?
Not really. Do you have a specific question? I have a way of doing it. Yes, it's pretty cool. We can try that.
Well, it is that I had a dream years ago.
Oh, yeah.
And my father came to me, and he gave me a series of numbers. And he told me not to forget them. And as he gave them to me, I mean, the whole thing was weird. I knew it was a visit from him. And so I just repetitively kept repeating those numbers over and over in my mind so that as soon as I woke up, I could write them down. And I did. Well, I've sat on those numbers for it's been a long time ago, over 20 years ago. And I'm still kind of wondering if I missed the boat on that. I don't understand the numbers. But you said that about the legality part. And so my question on that, or my confusion in that, is the dream took place in a courthouse. And my mother did pass away, but not before that dream. I mean, she was still alive at the time of the dream. So I don't know. It's just weird.
I remember you calling in and telling me this.
It can be precognitive, though, and even though she passed later, the understanding is that there is something about the legality that was not fair to you specifically. And
well, that's true.
It could have been precognitive, where they were telling you, hey, be cautious, but it happened anyway.
Right, and it's funny that you bring it up because I had, it's been a while since she passed, and I just kind of let it all go. There's nothing I can do about it. But, yes, it was not straight across. the table, but because my brother was the executor, I just kind of just swallowed it all and just went with it. But I was shortchanged about $27,000. So.
Okay, I have new numbers for you, okay? 43, 43, 22, 16, and 15, okay? I don't know if they correlate with any of the numbers that you have, but when you were talking about numbers, those are the numbers that came to me for you, okay?
Okay. Okay, and then I have a personal question for you, and then I'll hop off here.
Okay.
Jason knows about this. I have 2 old doors that I came in access of, and they have they're very old, and they have etched mirrors on each door. And I have a real strong feeling that these are portal doors. And I took the 2 doors and I faced them, facing each other. And I'm just wondering your personal opinion about my doing that.
I don't think that that is an issue. I was more interested in where the doors came from. Do you know where they came from? Because I can give you some insight.
Absolutely not.
Okay. This is kind of cool, okay? It felt to me like it was connected to a church or convent. And so I would ask you, with the glass that's there, is there any etch of metal around the glass? Is there any kind of frame around it?
Well, I mean, no. I mean, like the door is, they've cut into the door and put the glass in. It's actually, they maybe cut the back of the door. They cut it, and then they put the mirror, laid the mirror in, and put a backing on the back.
I don't feel
like
that.
One,
go ahead.
Well, I'm sorry. I was just going to say that one door is got like a piece of wood screwed in, and I keep having this feeling that I'm to unscrew those screws and look at what's behind that.
Yeah.
And I haven't done it. Do you get anything on that?
I don't get, like, I feel like I'm in church, or I feel like it's protected by religious connotation. So does that mean that it came from a church, or not? I don't know. I just know that I don't feel an evil presence with it. Me, I'm curious. I would do it, why not, I would do it.
Yeah, right.
Let us know what you find.
I will. I've been telling myself to do it. I think on one of them
Do it, Linda. Do it. I want to know. Now I got to know.
Paranormal peer pressure. Do it, girl.
Yeah, right, exactly. I think I'm going to go ahead because I keep getting this real strong feeling, and I don't know if it's just curiosity on my part because, people, what is it in the old houses, they put things between the walls and stuff, so you never know.
Well, this is what I would tell you, because I had a circumstance in my house, as I mentioned earlier, about something being in the attic that I never knew was there. And I honestly don't know what it was, and I probably don't want to know. But what you can do is, pray about it and ask for guidance, because then you'll get a dream on whether or not it's good. Because you might have a dream that, hey, you open it up and you find nothing, but you got the curiosity. Or you might have a dream like some kind of scary thing, like one of those Conjuring movies, and you're like, I'm not going to unscrew nothing. I'm just going to leave that alone. So when you ask through prayer, through meditation, you'll get an answer on what you need to do. And then I would tell you then why you do it. If you decide that you're going to do it because you're guided to, record it, like put like a little phone up so you can record it, and then you might be able to share the experience. Because a lot of times I find that when we do things, it's about the journey, and there might be something life-changing about it that's not scary, but you might discover something behind there that's a message from someone in your family, or you might be able to share a message from something that's left there. But I get a strong connection to religious connotation in a convent. So if there is something there about like you know, like, I don't know. Let us know. Let me know for sure.
I will. I'll send you a picture from Vegas if I open that door and there's money.
Right?
All right. You have a wonderful evening, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. Linda from Virginia. Have a great night.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Hey, Jason.
Yeah.
Jason,
Go.
I was saying earlier I wasn't sure about if I wanted a reading or not. If we do have time before the end, I'd be curious to see if anything jumps out at her regarding me.
So Jamie always gets called upon by the psychic, so I was trying not to mention her about it. So she's now given permission. So anything you pick up on Jamie, Ericka?
Yes, let me do that. I'm going to ask, I recently got a headache, and I usually don't get a headache unless somebody around has a headache. So, Jamie, do you have any headache right now?
I do not. Rob has headaches.
Yes, I do.
Do you have a headache right now?
I did earlier, not at the moment, though.
I see you gave it to me, Rob. Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
I still love you, Rob. You're a cool vibe. But yeah, I just all of a sudden got a headache a little while ago, and I didn't know where it came from. Okay, so Jamie, oh wow, you're kind of creepy awesome. I like it.
The creepy awesome is an excellent description of Jamie. Creepy awesome, yes.
You're like me, girl. Oh my gosh. Did you know that you had like dead people tapping on your bed trying to tell you stuff about cold cases too?
Oh yeah.
My God. I love it. I found a me. Are you writing books about these experiences and these women and these like men that are dead and dying that are telling you things?
No, but I work with people who have experienced these things.
Okay. And then one other quick question. Do you have any scars or cuts that are not like to do with childhood around here in the front? Okay. You've got a lady to your left over there. She kisses you on the shoulder and on the head. She could be your mom or grandma. I can't tell, to be honest. But I know that when we look at like hereditary, you've got that connection. Say that again.
She lives here.
Okay. And I do feel that like I'm knighting you. I don't know what that means. So I'm knighting you. So there might be a time when you've been knighted, or you might have been graced with a gift or a power. You are a shaman. I don't know if you do shamanistic stuff, but you are a shaman. And the thing is that you walked in fear so long that when you got in your energy, you kind of stopped. So now I want to push you as a girl, girl, and encourage you to go ahead and step out there. I don't know if you're doing readings or whatever, but I'm really to push you to go ahead and go to the forefront and to own your abilities and to heal and help, because that is what your path is supposed to be. Okay.
And I've been working on that the last couple of years, getting more serious and back into that, because I kind of hid away for a while.
Mm-hmm. We need to sometimes. Sometimes we have to be like a turtle and go on our shell. We need to self-heal. We need to just be, you know, to not tap into everything. Sometimes we have to reassess, you know, what our focus is, and to gather our own strength so that we can be of service and help people. If we're not good, we can't help. So yeah. You're right there right now, ready to go. So I'm just going to, as a fellow female awesome psychic, say, push you out there, girl. Go and come out of the psychic closet 100% and do what you do. Okay? You're welcome.
All right, one more phone call. We're going to try to squeeze in here before we run out of time. 860 area code. Who do we got?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Who do we got? Who's calling in?
Denasia.
Denasia, thank you for calling in.
Okay, I got one more quick thing for Jamie before I
hold on, Denasia.
Denasia, hey, how you doing, girl? I got one more quick thing, and I don't know if this is for Denasia or Jamie, but Jamie, have you had anybody who died of like asthma? Like there's a question about the death, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so this is what's weird. This feels so similar. It has to have some kind of murder mystery about it because I feel that someone is complacent and not calling 911. Like this is a woman I'm feeling, okay? And I feel like either she OD'd or she asphyxiated right here because of not having her inhaler or something. And there's this guy right here that's afraid to call the police or something and like not giving her the care that she would have needed. There's something weird about that, unsolved. And
My cousin, and it was fentanyl, and he suffocated, and they didn't call.
okay. His energy is kind of like us, so it just might mean that he was very sensitive. Even sometimes I tell people that like I would totally come in as a guy because I'm so like not dainty and stuff, but his energy is very
He's
emotional.
very gentle like that, and he had his sisters and his cousin. Yeah.
Yes, so he comes his energy is very kind of like what I would say feminine energy because of just how you described him. But I could definitely see him as a male. But he's okay. That's the biggest thing. He does come to you as well. And he wanted me to make sure I made because like he stopped me and made sure that you knew that he was okay. And there was some culpability in not calling to give him help because of the other drugs that were on the scene at the time when he died. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. I'm sorry, caller.
Well, we might have a different caller because I lost an agent. Who do we got on the
Hello?
line? Who do we have? Who is this?
This is James in chat. I go by Jack normally, so I don't know if that makes a difference.
We got like 2 minutes, James. So you're going to get a really quick reading here from Ericka.
What's your question?
Okay, yeah, it was just. I seen a big owl that was like over 6 foot back in 2007, and I was just wondering if I was ever gonna like see something similar again. That's maybe not the same one, but another one like it, or ever figure anything more about it out.
Definitely a spirit guide for you. Look into your ancestry and see if you have Native American on your father's side and also mom. It's weird, it's double dipped. But what you'll probably find is that birds of prey will be your guide. I do feel like you're going to go someplace in a wooded area and see hawks. This bird that you're talking about wasn't like, I don't see it in a wooded area. It might just like come to the house or it might just come in a random place, but you will have an opportunity to see it again, but not the same size. But I wish you would have taken a photo of that. That would have been amazing. But I do feel like,
Well, yeah, it was before like the camera phone time, but yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It actually tried to attack me, and it had 5 babies with it that were almost 3 foot tall. So
oh, wow.
I think it was we chased away a raccoon, and I think that's what it was going for, and I became the second option for dinner, I guess.
Right.
But yeah, I barely made it out.
Wow.
It's tasty. But I can't say that you'll see the same bird, but I do feel like you'll have an experience again with something similar. And just know that those things show up because a lot of times they're totems for you, okay?
Okay, appreciate it.
Well, thank you, James.
Thanks
That's
a
it. We got.
Okay.
I had 4 other people try to call in while he was on. Thank you, James.
Thanks a lot, though, for squeezing me in. Bye.
Yeah, no problem. And then we lost an agent. I think she tried calling back in. So this is the deal. Ericka, you were amazing. Awesome. We got to definitely have you on again so other people get a chance to call in and get a mini reading from you. Would you be good to come back on the show again?
Anytime, guys. Yeah, it's been
All
fun.
right. Let's make it happen because I love your energy. You totally blew me away tonight with the reading. So thank you so much.
And chat absolutely loves her energy.
Yeah.
Aww. My dog is still, so he likes you guys too.
Yeah, he's just chilling out. Like I see him. Yeah, that's the chilled out dog looker. Yes. All right, Ericka. Again, any last information? Like, get out your website again for people where they can contact you.
Yes, so we started making movies and we stream on Paraflix. I'd love for you to check that out. Go to our second site, paranormal.com website. We're trying to grow our YouTube channel and social media, so I'm logged in. I guess I'll go to YouTube. I'm under Second Sight Paranormal. But definitely like us and subscribe, definitely. And thank you guys for joining the show. And thank you guys for creating a platform like Paranormal Soup for people like myself that are paranormal enthusiasts to come on and talk about our experiences and share our gifts. Thank you.
Well, I keep looking at the poster you put back up behind you that fell there to show. I see the paranormal happens live here. So I don't know if it's paranormal or not, but that's there's a Second Sight Paranormal poster that fell down during the show. If anybody missed that was awesome. All right, guys, that is it. We got to go. We will be back next Sunday. I'm going to get my outro music there. We'll be back next Sunday with a returning guest, Paul Wallace. You know we love Paul. He is awesome. We're going to talk about ancient aliens and God knows the Book of Enoch and all that good stuff when we have Paul on next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. Central, 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. 11 p.m. Pacific time. Check us out on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Follow and subscribe. We're also on the Paranormal Radio Network if you want to listen. Thank you to everybody who shares out the show every Sunday night. You are the biggest help to telling people about a place, an open forum where we can all talk about the weird and unusual with open minds. And thank you to all of our Patreon donators, people who donate on YouTube Super Chat. Thank you. You help pay the bills. All right, guys, have a great night. See you next week.